All right, there we go. Let me push that button so you guys can hear me talk. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the WTF Wednesday with Redleg tonight. And the reason I'm here tonight is because we're going to be providing you with some live coverage and commentary of the IAVA Commander-in-Chief Forum. And we're going to give you our thoughts and give you an opportunity to give us your thoughts. That's right, we're going to cover this thing live, and Raptor 6 is here with bells on.
Hello.
So what I'm going to do is, once this thing starts, which by all accounts is going to be any moment now, is I'm going to let it go for a while, and we'll see what exactly Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have to say as it pertains to you, the veteran community. Real quick, the IAVA, that's the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. They say that they're the leading post 9/11 veteran empowerment organization with the most diverse and rapidly growing membership in America. They say that they don't just support veterans, they empower them. They say they're the voice of 2.8 million veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, raising awareness in the media, on Capitol Hill, and among the general public. So, guys, gals, everybody, this is important stuff. This is about you. And you'll probably hear our thoughts and comments in here. I encourage you to comment in the Facebook live chat, because we'll be grabbing some comments to send over to the people who are running this thing, and maybe your comment or your question will be answered. I guess Matt Lauer is going to be the moderator of this thing. I guess for the most part, Matt's fair and impartial. Raptor 6?
Yeah, I don't hate him. So
you don't hate him. So yes, there's the opportunity. We WTF or not WTF Nation Radio per se, U.S. Army WTF Moments have prepared some tweets to send. Maybe our tweets will make it, maybe not. We'll see. So as soon as Matt gets through running his mouth, we'll get the Commander-in-Chief Forum going. You'll see video, you'll hear audio, and you'll get to make your voice heard. So everybody stick around. This is a big deal for us. I think, and Raptor 6 is a little more hip on the politics than I am. Is this the first time that these two candidates have just been like one-on-one at this level?
Yes.
So up until this point, it's been Trump and Hillary and whomever else.
Oh, they won't be on the same stage, but they'll be at the same venue. It'll be, I think, the first time.
So this is the first time so far that they have been together at the same venue. Well, maybe we'll get to see some fireworks about providing better care for our veterans, better service at the VA, says Dolly. You know what? I think that's probably something that's going to be brought up. We, the veteran community, would be remiss if we did not bring up the issues of veteran health care and so on and so forth. And here's Raptor 7. Mark, you know what? The question of where is Gary Johnson was brought up earlier today. I don't think the IAVA invited him to this particular event. Now, I know that they have, I guess, ongoing communication with Gary Johnson, and we'll be talking to him at a later date, but no Gary Johnson tonight.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Raptor 7? Does Gary Johnson stand a reasonable chance of becoming president of the United States?
I don't know. I can't hear you out of my ear hole.
Oh, shit. Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
So many things. All right, well, here's
Gary Johnson not on the stage. I'll give you my my thoughts on this, because if you vote for him, you're throwing your fucking vote away. Because the country's broken and it's a two-party system. And unless everybody gets behind some shit where Gary Johnson's going to fucking win, which will never happen, a third-party system is never going to win till the revolution, in my humble opinion. Why have a third-party candidate on the show? Because if you are dumb enough to vote for him, even if you believe in what he stands for, you're throwing your vote away.
Well,
so
here's
we're gonna be a lesser of two evil system for a long time to come.
You're right. And here's Hillary. Let's see what Hillary's talking about.
Our plans to protect and defend the United States and our allies around the world.
What is the most important characteristic that a commander-in-chief can possess?
Steadiness, an absolute rock steadiness, and mixed with strength to be able to make the hard decisions, because I've had the unique experience of watching and working with several presidents. And these are not easy decisions. If they were, they wouldn't get to the president in the first place. And when you're sitting in the Situation Room, as I have on numerous occasions, particularly with respect to determining whether to recommend the raid against bin Laden,
I think they may have killed our live feed. Oh, no, there it goes.
Someone who listens.
Come on, Facebook, let us make it.
What is being told to him or her, who is able to sort out the very difficult options being presented.
You're talking about
and then
judgment.
Makes the decision. That's right.
So judgment is a key.
Temperament and judgment, yes.
The word judgment has been used a lot around you, Secretary Clinton, over the last year and a half, and in particular concerning your use of your personal email and server to communicate while you were Secretary of State. You've said it's a mistake. You said you made not the best choice. You were communicating on highly sensitive topics. Why wasn't it more than a mistake? Why wasn't it disqualifying if you want to be Commander-in-Chief?
Well, Matt, first of all, as I have said repeatedly, it was a mistake to have a personal account. I would certainly not do it again. I make no excuses for it. It was something that should not have been done. But the real question
Interesting, she acknowledges it's something that should not have been done.
Material, which is, I think, what the implication of your question was. And for all the viewers watching you tonight, I have a lot of experience dealing with classified material, starting when I was on the Senate Armed Services.
Obviously, you don't if you don't know what the fucking classified market is, you idiot.
Classified material
in the upper right corner.
has
I got
a
tons of
header
experience.
which says top secret, secret, confidential, nothing. And I will repeat this, and this is verified in the report by the Department of Justice. None of the emails sent or received by me had such a header.
Were some of the emails sent or received by you referring to our drone program, our covert drone program?
Yes.
Here we go.
Of course, there were no discussions of any of the covert actions in process being determined about whether or not to go forward. But every part of our government had to deal with questions, and the Secretary of State's office was first and foremost. So there are ways of talking about the drone program.
And you said you thought your communications on that were fairly routine.
Well, let me say, the FBI just released their report about their investigation. They discussed drone matters in the unclassified section.
You know what, guys? It's amazing to me. Can you guys hear me okay?
Hold on, wait
Yeah.
for this.
Because I know the audio's going.
Wait for this.
That any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
Well, Matt, I just respectfully point to the hundreds of experienced foreign policy experts, diplomats, defense officials who were communicating information on the unclassified system because it was necessary to answer questions and to be able publicly to go as far as we could, which was not acknowledging the program, but I would be in Pakistan, as I was on several occasions.
Oh, yeah,
There
just like
might
this
very
gas-
well have been a strike.
It's
I would
right
be
there,
asked
you know,
in
it's not
a
the
public setting, in an interview,
I never had a problem sending secret information from Afghanistan to the U.S. It was just through a zipper line.
I'm trying to figure out why she's talking about this and why Matt's talking to her about this when this is supposed to be about the veteran community.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, the whole purpose of this forum is to address the issues raised by the veterans in the military community. Not to hear her talk about her fucking email server for the umpteenth time.
Here's a hot chick from the audience, obviously a plant, because she's the hottest one of the audience.
Yeah, they put her up front because she looks good. To distract you from what Hillary's talking about.
We've had hacking repeatedly, even in the White House. There is no evidence my system was hacked.
Let us bring in Hallie Jackson of NBC News, who's been covering this campaign. She's getting questions from our veterans. Hallie, who are you with?
Hi, Matt. I'm with Lieutenant John Lester, who will stand with me here.
Up here.
He began his military career by enlisting in the Air Force and then switched over to the Navy before he retired, where he flew P-3 Orions in Desert Storm and in Desert Shield. He's a Republican, and he has this question for you, Secretary Clinton.
Thank you.
Secretary Clinton, thank you very much for coming tonight. As a naval flight officer, I held a top secret sensitive compartmentalized information clearance, and that provided me access to materials and information highly sensitive to our warfighting capabilities. Had I communicated this information not following prescribed protocols, I would have been prosecuted and imprisoned. Secretary Clinton, how can you expect those such as myself who were and are entrusted with America's most sensitive information to have any confidence in your leadership as president when you clearly corrupted our national security?
Very good question.
Well, I appreciate your concern and also your experience, but let me try to make the distinctions that I think are important for me to answer your question.
And you're not.
First, as I said to Matt, you know and I know, classified material is designated, it is marked. There is a header so that there is no dispute at all that what is being communicated to or from someone who has that access is marked classified. And what we have
so
here,
somebody in the live chat says that she has said, wasn't it last week, that she has no ComSec training, and now she's lecturing on fucking ComSec.
Yes, now she's telling everybody how to identify classified information.
Yeah, she's talking down to us as veterans, saying that she has all the ComSec training. A week ago, she said she didn't know shit, and she didn't know what a C in the corner meant.
Yeah, it came out in the FBI report when they interviewed her that she claimed ignorance about classifications as an excuse.
Isn't that how you deny a crime, right? Deflect, deny, and then blame someone else?
Deny, counter accuse.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So many comments from the Facebook live chat that says this has nothing to do with vets.
Oh, it does, because she's belittling us right now, thinking we're fucking stupid.
Because of the question that this guy
look,
asked.
she's standing. She's standing now.
I think it's actually good from the context of most service members are familiar with classifications, and seeing her up here being a complete moron should be swinging votes out of the veteran community to not vote for her. One of many reasons.
I really one of the Facebook Live comments is what about the sailor that used the what about the sailor that took a picture of the engine room to show his fucking kid?
More deflection.
And now he's facing prison. Yep.
Yeah.
To war in Iraq was a mistake. And I have said that my voting to give President Bush that authority was, from my perspective, my mistake. I also believe that it is imperative that we learn
wait for this key term
from the mistakes, like after action reports are supposed to do. And so we must learn what led us down that path so that it never happens again. I think I'm in the best possible position to be able to understand that and prevent it. But I will say this, I'm asking to be judged on the totality of my record. What I've done for our veterans, as First Lady, as Senator, what I've done for Gold Star families, working with them to increase the death benefit from $12,000 to $100,000, working with Republicans like Lindsey Graham.
Fucking parade them around on stage.
Exactly.
Who didn't have health care unless they were deployed. Working to provide more support for the care of our veterans, those who were wounded. Working with the Fisher family, now into the third generation of caring for our fallen heroes. Working with John McCain to raise money for...
she's name dropping. John McCain just came up.
To take care of those who are coming back with profound injuries. Working on TBI and PTSD and so much more. Working with groups to end veteran suicide like TAPS. So
I'm going to get to that subject in a second.
There was a mistake. Now, my opponent was for the war in Iraq. He says he wasn't. You can go back and look at the record.
Okay, she just basically invalidated the service of a generation of military fighting men and women by saying that, by publicly stating to the faces of those people who participated in it that it was a mistake. Whether or not it was a mistake, I think you kind of need to know your audience a little better.
Campos, who served in the Air Force for nearly a decade, where she was an intelligence analyst specializing in counter-violent extremism. Like you, Secretary Clinton, she's a Democrat, and she has this question for you.
Thank you.
Secretary Clinton, to your point, you have had an extensive record with military intervention. How do you respond to progressives like myself who worry and have concerns that your hawkish foreign policy will continue? And what is your plan to end wasteful war campaigns in which our peers, service women and men, continue to be killed and wounded?
Well, I assume you're talking about Iraq because of my vote. And you probably are talking about Libya because of the role that I played in the administration's decision about whether to take on Gaddafi. But before I get to that, let me say very clearly, I view force as a last resort, not a first choice. I will do everything in my power to make sure that our men and women in the military are fully prepared for any challenge that they may have to face on our behalf. But I will also be as careful as I can in making the most significant decisions any president and commander-in-chief can make about sending our men and women into harm's way. With respect to Libya, again, there's no difference between my opponent and myself. He's on record extensively.
She's been bashing Trump this entire fucking time based on he's a warmonger, he wants to beef up the military, et cetera, et cetera. But now she's saying there's no difference.
Well, I mean, it's whatever's most convenient for her to say at the moment.
And you notice, are you watching the video how she's standing up?
Of course.
Addressing the crowd and standing away from Matt Lauer so he can't fucking interrupt her?
And I think taking that action was the right decision. Not taking it and permitting there to be an ongoing civil war in Libya would have been as dangerous and threatening as what we are now seeing in Syria.
I'm going to jump in. Thank you very much for your question. Let me ask you about the Iran nuclear deal. It was signed under Secretary Kerry. It was begun under you. You started those talks. You have said you expect the Iranians to cheat. You think they'll buy time and perhaps stay along their course to building a nuclear weapon. If they cheat, Secretary Clinton, will you have any course of action other than a military course of action? Would you enter into negotiations with them again? Would you go back to economic sanctions knowing they cheated and are then closer to a nuclear weapon?
Matt, look, let me put this in context because this is one of the most important strategic questions we face. When I became Secretary of State, the Iranians were on a fast track to acquiring the material necessary to get a nuclear weapon. That had happened the prior 8 years. They mastered the nuclear fuel cycle, they built covert facilities, they stocked them with centrifuges, and they were moving forward. What was our decision? Our decision was to try to put together an international coalition that included Russia and China to exert the kind of pressure through sanctions that the United States alone could not do.
Right, but you said
wait,
you think you're going to cheat.
Look, this is an important issue.
This chick sucks so bad at back and forth. Like, she cannot answer a question with anybody. Hence the reason she hasn't had a report, like, with questions for 200 days.
Well, I mean, here we go. Matt's just trying to get a straight answer to a straight question, and it's tap dancing. And then when he says, "Come on, answer the fucking question," then she starts, "Well, let me finish. Let me finish."
Oh, he's gonna make her choke. I got 17 minutes in. How long has it been?
I have said we are going to enforce it to the
Do you
letter.
think they're playing us?
On the nuclear issue, no. I think we have enough insight into what they're doing to be able to say we have to distrust but verify. What I am focused on is all the other malicious activities of the Iranians. Ballistic missiles, support for terrorists, being involved in Syria, Yemen, and other places, supporting Hezbollah, Hamas. But here's the difference, Matt. I would rather, as president, be dealing with Iran on all of those issues without having to worry as much about their racing for a nuclear weapon. So we have made the world safer. We just have to make sure it's enforced.
Hallie.
I'm with Kenneth Anderson. He's one of our undecided voters here. He considers himself an independent. He earned the rank of sergeant in the Marine Corps, where he was an Arabic translator during 3 tours in Iraq. Kenneth, you have a question for Secretary Clinton.
Yes, Secretary Clinton, last October you said that surveys of veterans showed that they're overall satisfied with their treatment and that the problems with the VA aren't as widespread as they're made out to be. So, do you think the problems with the VA have been made to seem worse than they really are?
Look, I was outraged by the stories that came out about the VA, and I have been very clear about the necessity for doing whatever is required to move the VA into the 21st century, to provide the kind of treatment options that our veterans today desperately need and deserve. And that's what I will do as president. But I will not let the VA be privatized. And I do think there is an agenda out there supported by my opponent to do just that. I think that would be very disastrous for our military veterans. So I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to have a meeting every week in the Oval Office.
I'm going to do everything I can. A meeting every week to keep everything fucking socialist and keep everything under government control, and you're under our thumb.
And getting into the VA system sometimes, and you probably know this, Sergeant.
I have an opinion on this, but I want to. It's like a train wreck. I can't not listen.
The service, they can't find their records from DOD, and those records never make it to the VA. They feel like they're living in a fun house. They have to go over the same things over and over. We're living in a technological world. You cannot tell me we can't do a better job getting that information. And so I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to work with everybody. I'm going to make them work together. And we're going to fix the problems in the VA.
Sergeant, thank you very much for your question. Let's talk about veterans and suicide.
Yes, let's,
It's an alarming story. The population of veterans has a rate of suicide far above the general population.
20 suicides a day.
What are you going to do to stop it?
Well, this month is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And I've spent a lot of time with family members, survivors, who've lost a loved one after he or she came home, sometimes suffering from PTSD or TBI or sexual assault, being handed bags of opioids, not being given an appropriate treatment to help that particular person, which is something, to go back to the sergeant's question, we have to change. So I rolled out my mental health agenda last week, and I have a whole section devoted to veterans' mental health. And we've got to remove the stigma. We've got to help people currently serving not to feel that if they report their sense of unease, their depression, that somehow it's going to be a mark against them. We have to do more about addiction, not only drugs, but also alcohol. So I have put forth a really robust agenda, working with a lot of the VSOs and other groups like TAPS who have been thinking about this and trying to figure out what we're going to do to help our veterans re-enter civilian life and live full, productive lives.
Hallie?
I'm with Ernie Young. Come on up here with me, a former Army captain who led troops during tours in both Iraq and Afghanistan. He's an independent voter, and you have a question for the Secretary.
Secretary Clinton, as an Army veteran Commander-in-Chief, organization is empathize with service members and their families is important to me. The ability to truly understand the implications and consequences of your decisions, actions, or inactions. How will you determine when and where to deploy troops directly into harm's way, especially to combat ISIS?
As briefly as you can.
We have to defeat ISIS.
Oh, boom.
That is my highest counterterrorism goal. And we've got to do it with air power. We've got to do it with much more support for the Arabs and the Kurds who will fight on the ground against ISIS. We have to squeeze them by continuing to support the Iraqi military. They've taken back Ramadi, Fallujah. They've got to hold them. They've got to now get into Mosul. We're going to work to make sure that they have the support. They have special forces, as you know. They have enablers. They have surveillance, intelligence, reconnaissance help. They are not going to get ground troops. We are not putting ground troops into Iraq ever again, and we're not putting ground troops into Syria. We're going to defeat ISIS without committing American ground troops. So those are the kinds of decisions we have to make on a case-by-case basis. And remember, when I became Secretary of State, we had 200,000 troops deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm very grateful that we have brought home the vast majority of those. We have a residual force, as you know, in Afghanistan. We have built up several thousands of the folks that I've talked about who are assisting in the fight against ISIS. But it is in our national security interest.
How great would it be if someone just stood up right now and was like, yeah, blah, 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 we're fucking aware.
We're going after Baghdadi, the leader, because it will help us focus our attention, just like going after bin Laden helped us focus our attention in the fight against al-Qaeda in the Afghanistan-Pakistan theater.
I am fast running out of time. I want to get to one that concerns just about everybody in this country, and that is terror attacks on our soil.
Right.
Either directed by ISIS or inspired by ISIS. Would your message as the next president of the United States or potential next president be to Americans that we simply are living in the reality that those attacks will happen? And can you guarantee people that after 4 years of a Clinton presidency, they'll be safer on the streets of San Bernardino or Boston than they are today?
Well, Matt, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that's the result. I'm not going to, promise something that I think most thinking Americans know is going to be a huge challenge, and here's why. We've got to have an intelligence surge, and we've got to get a lot more cooperation out of Europe, out of the Middle East. We have to do a better job of not only collecting and analyzing the intelligence we do have, but distributing it much more quickly down the ladder to state and local law enforcement. We also have to do a better job combating ISIS online, where they recruit, where they radicalize. And I don't think we're doing as much as we can. We need to work with Silicon Valley. We need to work with our experts in our government. We have got to disrupt. We have got to take them on in the arena of ideas that unfortunately pollute and capture the minds of vulnerable people. So we need to wage this war against ISIS from the air, on the ground, and online in cyberspace. And here at home, for goodness sakes, we have to finally pass a law prohibiting people on the terrorist watch list from being able to buy a gun in the United States of America. So we've got work to do.
Oh, yeah.
I know we can do that work. I'm meeting with a group of terror experts, counterterrorism experts, but I want to just say one additional thing.
I've got 30 seconds left.
Matt Olson, the former director of the National Center on Counterterrorism, has a great article out today saying the last thing we need to do is to play into the hands of ISIS, going after American Muslims, defaming a Gold Star family, the family of Captain Khan, making it more difficult for us to have a coalition with Muslim-majority nations.
And we tried to have an agreement.
That is not going to help us succeed in defeating ISIS and protecting our American homeland.
Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Let's go, bitch ass.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, shit, man. Fuck her.
So I heard a lot of lip service about a whole lot of nothing, and what I didn't hear from her was a good, like, clear-cut strategy to accomplish anything, and I guess that's a polite way for me to say that I didn't hear her actually answer any of the questions.
Yeah, she's been saying all along is, I got this plan, go to my website.
I mean, it's to me, I mean, let's hope Trump gets up here and actually provides us with, I mean, I can only hope that Trump's going to say, when a question's asked, okay, here's exactly what I'm going to do. Not, we need to pass a law, we need to do this, we need to, and then, constantly toot his own horn about the things that he's done or not done in the past. I heard a lot about the things that she has done, the things that she has accomplished, and the things that she was not responsible for. I hope Trump can do better.
Yeah, it was deflecting, and what'd you say? After 6, how's that phrase go?
Deny, counter accuse.
After 6.
So let's
deflect, fucking. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that.
Let's just see what Donald Trump gets up here and says. I got a feeling that maybe he's going to be a little more direct, and that's been his style. But it's interesting to note that in a recent poll, and I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I saw this earlier. In a recent poll, the poll was conducted by MSNBC. So, I mean, you put as much stock into it as you'd like. It was something on the order of 52% of the people polled did not feel like Hillary Clinton would make a good commander-in-chief of the military. However, nearly 70% of the people polled didn't think Donald Trump would make a good commander-in-chief of the military. I wonder how many of the people they polled were actually veterans or active duty service members. And my opinion is probably they think Trump's too much of a loose cannon. Like you hand him the nuclear launch codes, and here we go. What were you going to say?
Can I vote? 0 to none. 0 to none were polled that were military or veterans.
Yeah, but, probably not.
They just had that
MSNBC crowd.
Don't worry about it. Matt Lauer's just saying some bullshit right now.
Earlier, hey, this is Kaz. Earlier today, I wanted to chime in earlier when they were talking about the VA, about the effort to privatize the VA. I don't think Trump wants to do that, and the reason I say that is because MSNBC. I've been paying attention to MSNBC leading up to this just to kind of get a feel, and the VA secretary was on there getting interviewed, and he said that what Trump wants to do is to change the 30. I guess if you're on the wait list for more than 30 days, you can choose to go to a private provider. I don't know whether that's true or not. He said that what Trump wants to do is give that waiting time 7 days as opposed to 30. I don't see a problem.
Find out.
But at least there's at least there's a solid plan there. And here comes D. Treasy.
D. Treasy.
Let's see
you know what?
See what he's talking about. Raptor 7's applauding.
Thank you very much for joining us. You heard me say to Mrs. Clinton, Secretary Clinton, and it didn't completely work out toward the end there. As much as possible, I'd like you to tell our veterans and our people at home why you are prepared for the role of Commander-in-Chief and try to keep the attacks to a minimum. We've had a year of that and maybe 60 more days of it.
To a minimum, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. To a minimum. I guess that's a question of definition.
I guess.
Anytime you interview a president, sitting or past president, they will tell you that the most daunting part...
Was I supposed to answer this question?
No. I mean, just keep the attacks to a minimum. Anytime you talk to a president, they'll tell you the most daunting part of the job is the role of commander-in-chief.
Right.
What have you experienced in your personal life or your professional life that you believe prepares you to make the decisions that a commander-in-chief has to make?
Well, I've built a great company. I've been all over the world. I've dealt with foreign countries. I've done very well, as an example, tremendously well dealing with China and dealing with so many of the countries that are just ripping this country. They are just taking advantage of us like nobody's ever seen before. And I've had great experience dealing on an international basis. I look today and I see a Russian plane circling our planes. They're taunting us. I see in Iran, I see the boats taunting our ships, our destroyers.
But what have you done in your life that prepares you to send men and women of the United States into harm's way?
Well, I think the main thing is I have great judgment. I have good judgment. I know what's going on. I've called so many of the shots. And I happened to hear Hillary Clinton say that I was not against the war in Iraq. I was totally against the war in Iraq. You can look at Esquire magazine from 2004. You can look at before that. And I was against the war in Iraq because I said it's going to totally destabilize the Middle East, which it has. It has absolutely been a disastrous war. And by the way, perhaps almost as bad was the way Barack Obama got out. That was a disaster.
People talk about you and Commander-in-Chief, and not just Secretary Clinton, but some of your Republican opponents in the primary season, and they wonder about your temperament. They say, does Donald Trump have the temperament to be Commander-in-Chief? You said something recently that I found interesting. You admitted that sometimes in the heat of a debate or when you're talking about a lot of issues, you say things that you later regret. So can we afford that with a Commander-in-Chief, to have a Commander-in-Chief who says things that he later regrets?
Well, when you say regret, yeah, sure, I regret. But in the meantime, I beat 16 people, and here I am. So, you know, to a certain extent, there is a regret. I would have liked to have done it in a nicer manner. But I had 16 very talented people that I had to go through, and that was a lot of people.
But when you say
that was a record, Matt. That was a record in the history of Republican
politics. So now all the bluster. Come on, Trump, stop talking about yourself and talk about what you're going to do for the country.
In a presidential campaign, it's different than saying them when you're Commander-in-Chief. If you say things you regret when you're Commander-in-Chief, you can spark a conflict, you can destabilize a region, you can put American lives at risk. Can we afford to take that risk with you?
Well, I think absolutely. I think if you saw what happened in Mexico the other day, where I went there, I had great relationships, everything else. I let them know where the United States stands. I mean, we've been badly hurt by Mexico, both on the border and with taking all of our jobs, or a big percentage of our jobs. And if you look at what happened, look at the aftermath today, where the people that arranged the trip in Mexico have been forced out of government. That's how well we did.
Back in August.
And that's how well we're going to have to do, Matt.
Back in August, when you admitted that you regret some of the things you said, you also said this: I can promise you this, I will always tell you the truth.
It's true.
So let me read some of the things you said. I know more about ISIS than the generals do. Believe me. Was that the truth?
Well, the generals under Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have not been successful.
Do you know more about ISIS than they do?
I think under the leadership of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, the generals have been reduced to rubble. They have been reduced to a point where it's embarrassing for our country. You have a force of 30,000 or so people. Nobody really knows, but probably 30,000 people. And I can just see the great, as an example, General George Patton spinning in his grave as ISIS we can't beat.
Yeah, you said if we had MacArthur today, or if we had Patton today, we would not have ISIS. That the rise of these military commanders that we have today, they come up the chain of command.
Anybody else notice that he never did answer the question?
Correct. And we know that's not a compliment coming from you. Have you lost faith in the military commanders?
I have great faith in the military. I have great faith in certain of the commanders, certainly, but I have no faith in Hillary Clinton or the leadership. You look at what's happened, and, you know, when she comes in and starts saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have... She's been there for 30 years. I mean, we need change, Matt. We have to have it, and we have to have it fast.
Let's go to Hallie Jackson in our crowd. Hallie.
I'm with Philip Clay, who was a public affairs officer in the Marine Corps. He spent a year in Anbar province in Iraq. He left the military with the rank of captain, service that inspired him to write a book. He's a Democrat, and he has this question for you, Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump, over the past 15 years, a lot of U.S. troops have bled and died, securing towns and provinces from Iraq to Afghanistan, only to have insurgent groups like ISIS spring back the moment we leave. Now, you've claimed to have a secret plan to defeat ISIS, but you're hardly the first politician to promise a quick victory and a speedy homecoming. So, assuming we do defeat ISIS, what next? What is your plan for the region to ensure that a group like them doesn't just come back?
Sure. I mean, part of the problem that we've had is we go in, we defeat somebody, and then we don't know what we're doing after that. I mean, we lose it. Like, as an example, you look at Iraq, what happened, how badly that was handled. And then when President Obama took over, likewise, it was a disaster. It was actually somewhat stable. I don't think could ever be very stable. It's a war we should have never gone into in the first place. But he came in, he said, when we go out, and he took everybody out. and really ISIS was formed. This was a terrible decision, and frankly, we never even got a shot. And if you really look at the aftermath of Iraq, Iran is going to be taking over Iraq. They've been doing it, and it's not a pretty picture. And I think you know, and because you've been watching me, I think for a long time, I've always said, shouldn't be there, but if we're going to get out, take the oil. If we would have taken the oil, you wouldn't have ISIS, because ISIS formed with the power and the wealth of that oil.
How are we going to take the oil? How are we going to do that?
You would leave a certain group behind, and you would take various sections where they have the oil. They have
fucking
people
oil,
don't
Matt
know
Lauer.
this about Iraq, but they have among the largest oil reserves in the world, in the entire world. And we're the only ones. We go in, we spend $3 trillion, we lose thousands and thousands of lives, and then, Matt, what happens is we get nothing. You know, it used to be to the victor belong the spoils. Now, there was no victor there, believe me, there was no victor. But I always said, take the oil. One of the benefits we would have had if we took the oil is ISIS would not have been able to take oil and use that oil.
Let me stay on ISIS
to fuel themselves.
Let me stay on ISIS. When we
What the fuck is this dude talking about? He's talking about pillaging is what he's talking about.
Very quickly. And when people like me press you for details like that gentleman just said on what your plan is, you very often say, I'm not going to give you the details because I want to be unpredictable.
Absolutely, the word is unpredictable.
But yesterday you actually told us a little bit about your plan in your speech. You said this, quote, we're going to convene my top generals and they will have 30 days to submit a plan for soundly and quickly defeating ISIS. So is the plan you've been hiding this whole time asking someone else for their plan?
No, but when I do come up with a plan that I like and that perhaps agrees with mine or maybe doesn't, I may love what the generals come back with. I will
But you have your own plan.
I have a plan, but I don't want to, look, I have a very substantial chance of winning. Make America great again. We're going to make America great again. I have a substantial chance of winning. If I win, I don't want to broadcast to the enemy exactly what my plan is. And let me tell you, if I like maybe a combination of my plan and the general's plan or the general's plan, if I like their plan, Matt, I'm not going to call you up and say, Matt, we have a great plan. This is what Obama does. We're going to leave Iraq on a certain date.
But you're going to convene a panel of generals, and you've already said you know more about ISIS than those generals.
Well, there'll probably be different generals, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm looking at the generals.
So I guess he's going to clean out the upper levels of the military because he said different generals.
Generals and admirals endorsed me today.
It's a number.
Hillary
Clinton claims more numbers.
A different flavor of questioning against Ford Trump.
Oh, yeah, dude, he's getting bashed on way harder than Hillary was.
I mean, the fact is, we have had the worst, and you could even say the dumbest foreign policy. Our results are so bad. We would have been better off had we never, ever spent $2 in that part of the world.
You recently received 2 intelligence briefings.
Yes, I did.
Did anything in that briefing, without going into specifics, shock or alarm you?
Yes.
Did you learn new things?
First of all, I have great respect for the people who's
never been in government. Could tell if it was classified or not.
Experts on Iraq and Iran and different parts of and Russia. But yes, there was one thing that shocked me, and it just seems to me that what they said, President Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, who is another total disaster, did exactly the opposite.
Did you learn anything in that briefing, again, not going into specifics, that makes you reconsider some of the things you say you can accomplish, like defeating ISIS quickly?
No, I didn't learn anything from that standpoint. What I did learn is that our leadership, Barack Obama,
on how quickly Trump fucking trashes Lauer on Twitter after this.
Oh, dude. Instantly.
What our experts said to do.
How?
And I was very, very surprised in almost every instance. And I could tell, I had pretty good with the body language. I could tell they were not happy. Our leaders did not follow what they were recommending.
Hallie?
I'm with former Army Captain Sue Fulton, who is a member of the first West Point class to include women. She served as a Signal Corps officer in Germany. She's a Democrat, and she has this question for you, Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump.
Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Do you believe that an undocumented person who wants to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces deserves to stay in this country legally?
I think that when you serve in the armed forces, that's a very special situation, and I could see myself working that out. Absolutely.
So she's saying has already served in the armed forces or wants to serve?
Isn't that a thing already?
Plans to serve.
Plans to serve in the armed forces. As you know, that under DACA, we already have people who are undocumented
I
who are
think
serving.
Military is a very special thing. If they plan on serving, if they get in, I would absolutely hold those people. Now, we have to be very careful. We have to vet very carefully. Everybody would agree with that. But the answer is it would be a very special circumstance. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Hallie, you have another one?
I do. Alex Rutkowski was an Army Staff Sergeant assigned to Special Operations. He was stationed at Fort Bragg and was deployed to Afghanistan and to other places across the Middle East. He has not decided who he will vote for yet in November. And you have a question for Mr. Trump.
I do. Mr. Trump, as you know, tensions between the United States and Russia have been at the highest levels since the Cold War. In your first 120 days of presidency, how would you de-escalate the tensions? And more importantly, what steps would you take to bring Mr. Putin and the Russian government back to the negotiating table?
I think I would have a very good relationship with many foreign leaders. I think it's very sad when you look at Barack Obama, as an example, lands Air Force One in China, and they don't want to put out stairs to get off the plane. And he has to use the stairs that mechanics use to get up and down to fix the plane. They wouldn't give him stairs. I think it's very sad when he lands in Saudi Arabia and he lands in Cuba, and there aren't high officials to even greet him. This is the first time in the history, the storied history of Air Force One. I think I would have a very, very good relationship with Putin, and I think I would have a very, very good relationship with Russia. As I said, take a look today. Take a look at what happened with their fighter jets circling one of our aircraft in a very dangerous manner. Somebody said less than 10 feet away. This is hostility. And I saw just 2 or 3 days ago, they looked like they were not exactly getting along. But I looked at President Obama and Putin staring at each other. These were not two people that were getting along. And you know the beautiful part of getting along? Russia wants to defeat ISIS as badly as we do. If we had a relationship with Russia, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could work on it together and knock the hell out of ISIS? Wouldn't that be a wonderful
Let me ask you about some of the things you've said about Vladimir Putin. You said, I will tell you, in terms of leadership, he's getting an A. Our president is not doing so well. And when referring to a comment that Putin made about you, I think he called you a brilliant leader, you said it's always a great honor to be so nicely complimented by a man so highly respected within his country and beyond.
Well, he does have an 82% approval rating, according to the different pollsters, who, by the way, some of them are based right here. Look.
He's also a guy who annexed Crimea, invaded Ukraine, supports Assad in Syria, supports Iran, is trying to undermine our influence in key regions of the world, and according to our intelligence community, probably is the main suspect for the hacking of the DNC computers.
Well, nobody knows that for a fact, but do you want me to start naming some of the things that President Obama does?
But do you want to be complimented by that former KGB officer?
Well, I think when he calls me brilliant, I'll take the compliment, okay? The fact is, look, it's not going to get him anywhere. I'm a negotiator. We're going to take back our country. You look at what's happening to our country. You look at the depleted military. You look at the fact that we've lost our jobs. We're losing our jobs like we're a bunch of babies. We're going to take back our country, man. The fact that he calls me brilliant or whatever he calls me is going to have zero impact.
But the fact that you say you can get along with him,
I think I'll be able to get along with him.
Do you think the day that you become president of the United States, he's going to change his mind on some of these key issues?
Possibly. It's possible. I don't know, man. It's possible. And it's not going to have any impact. If he says great things,
the wall again.
About him.
Who, Putin?
He is really very much of a leader. I mean, you can say, oh, isn't that a terrible thing? He called him, the man has very strong control over a country. Now, it's a very different system, and I don't happen to like the system. But certainly in that system, he's been a leader far more than our president has been a leader. We have a divided country. We have a country where you have Hillary Clinton with her emails that nobody's ever seen, where she deletes 33,000 emails, and that's after getting a subpoena from Congress. If you do that in private business, you get thrown in jail.
Hallie?
Korea, here with me, was in the Army Reserves and spent 10 months in Iraq right at the beginning of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He is a Republican and has this question for you.
Good evening, Mr. Trump.
Hi.
I like what you say about supporting veterans and how they are important, but I haven't heard what the actual plans are to continue that support beyond words. How will you translate those words to action after you take office?
Well, I love that question because I've been very close to the vets. You see the relationship I have with the vets just by looking at the polls. In fact, today a poll came out, and my relationship has been very good. I have a very, very powerful plan that's on my website that you possibly saw. One of the big problems is the wait time. Vets are waiting 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. And by the way, Hillary Clinton 6 months ago said the vets are being treated essentially just fine. There's no real problem. It's over-exaggerated. She did say
she
that.
went on after that and laid out a litany of problems within the VA.
Look, I mean, she made up half of the things she said about me. I'm telling you, this is, she said she was satisfied with what was going on in the Veterans Administration. Now, under my plan, if you've got to wait, and by the way, people are dying online. They're dying, waiting to get to see a doctor. They're waiting 5 days and 6 days. Under a part of my plan, if they have that long wait, they walk outside, they go to the local doctor, they choose the doctor, they choose the hospital, whether it's public or private, they get themselves better. In many cases, it's a minor procedure or a pill or just a prescription, and they end up dying because they can't get to see the doctor. We will pay the bill. They go outside, they get a doctor, they get a prescription, they do what they have to do, and we pay the bill. That is something that I have been praised. And by the way, I never said take the VA, take it the Veterans Administration private. I wouldn't do that. Too much respect for our people. I would never do that.
Okay.
I heard it was said that I said that. I would not do that. But I do believe, when you're waiting in line for 6, 7 days, you should never be in a position like that. You go out, you see the doctor, you get yourself taken care of.
Hallie, you've got another question.
I do. Rachel Fredericks, who specialized in aviation's operations in the Marine Corps, serving stateside. She lost 2 friends to suicide, and you now struggle yourself with PTSD. She's a Republican, but leaning towards you, still undecided a little bit too. Rachel, you have a question for Mr. Trump.
I do. Mr. Trump, I wanted to ask what your plan will be to stop 20 veterans a day from killing themselves.
And actually, it's 22, and it's almost impossible to conceive that this is happening in our country. 20 to 22 people a day are killing themselves. A lot of it is they're killing themselves over the fact that they're under tremendous pain and they can't see a doctor. We're going to speed up the process. We're going to create a great mental health division. They need help. They need help. They need tremendous help, and we're doing nothing for them. The VA is really almost, you could say, a corrupt enterprise. If you look at what's going on, as an example, Matt, in Arizona, where they caught people stealing, and they can't even do anything about it. They can't even fire the people. So we are going to make it efficient and good, and if it's not good, you're going out to private hospitals, public hospitals, and doctors. Okay?
Hallie, one more.
Thank you very much.
Donald Day here, who served as a radio operator in the Marine Corps in the Vietnam era. He had tours of duty in Southeast Asia and in Europe. He's also a Democrat and has this question for you.
Mr. Trump, I have a daughter who was interested in joining the service, but when she researched the military, she saw the stats on sexual assault and decided not to go. I have a concern about the rape of women in our armed forces. As president, what specifically would you do to support all victims of sexual assault in the military?
It's a great question, and it's a massive problem. The numbers are staggering, hard to believe even, but we're going to have to run it very tight. I, at the same time, want to keep the court system within the military. I don't think it should be outside of the military, but we have to come down very, very hard on that, and your daughter is absolutely right. It is a massive problem, but we have to do something about that problem, and the best thing we can do is set up a court system within the military. Right now, the court system practically doesn't exist. It takes too long.
In 2013, on this subject, you tweeted this, quote, 26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military, only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together?
Well, it is a correct tweet. There are many people that think that that's absolutely correct, and we need to have a strength.
So this
and we
should
need
have
to
been expected, and does that mean the only way to fix it is to take women out of the military?
And by the way, since then it's gotten worse. No, not to kick them out, but something has to be happened. Right now, part of the problem is nobody gets prosecuted. You have reported, and the gentleman can tell you, you have the report of rape, and nobody gets prosecuted. There are no consequences. When you have somebody that does something so evil, so bad as that, there has to be consequence for that person. You have to go after that person. Right now, Nobody's doing anything. Look at the small number of results. I mean, that's part of the problem.
So many of the issues that we've talked about with you, Mr. Trump, tonight and Secretary Clinton are so complex that even career military people and career diplomats and politicians have trouble getting their arms around them.
Right.
You've had a very different background in business. So nobody would expect you to have taken over the last 20 years really deep dives into some of these issues. But I'm curious about what you're doing now. What kind of research are you doing now? What kind of homework are you doing? What kind of things are you reading as you prepare for the day in 2 months where you might be elected the next president of the United States?
Well, in the front row, you have 4 generals, you have admirals, we have people all throughout the audience that I'm dealing with. Right here is a list that was just printed today of 88 admirals and generals that I meet with and I talk to.
How much time are you spending on this?
A lot, and I'm doing a lot of different things. Don't forget, we're running a big campaign. We're doing very well. I'm also, and I'm very much giving it to my children and my executives to run. I'm also partially running a business. I'm campaigning. I'm running a business. Got a lot of hats right now. But we're doing very well. But in the meantime, I am studying, and I'm meeting constantly. You see General Flynn, and you see some of the folks that we have, and they're scattered throughout the audience. So we have admirals, we have generals, we have colonels, we have a lot of people that I respect. And I think I've learned a lot, but I think also, I really feel I have a common sense on the various issues that you're talking about.
But you said in a speech today, you said, history shows that when America is not prepared is when the danger is the greatest.
And we're not prepared.
Will you be prepared on day one, if you're elected president of the United States, to tackle these complex national security
100%.
issues?
Hey, Matt, again, she made a mistake on Libya. She made a terrible mistake on Libya. And the next thing, I mean, not only did she make the mistake, but then they complicated the mistake by having no management once they bombed you-know-what out of Gaddafi. I mean, she made a terrible mistake on Libya, and part of it was the management after effect. I think that we have great management talents, great management skills, and I have to totally prepared. But remember this, I've found this subject and these subjects of interest all of my life, Matt. This hasn't been over the last 14 months. I've found these subjects of tremendous interest. That's why they were asking me about Iraq 14 years ago. They were asking me these questions. They don't ask business people.
Let me end in kind of the same place I started. Have you given much thought, Mr. Trump, if you're elected president and commander-in-chief, to that moment where you're going to have to make that first decision that puts American men and women in harm's way?
I think it's the most difficult decision you can possibly ever make. You're talking about death, and we're talking death to not just our side. We're talking death all over. I would be very, very cautious. I think I'd be a lot slower. She has a happy trigger. You look, she votes for the war.
But
she goes into Libya.
have you thought about personally the emotional burden of that moment?
I think it's a tremendous burden. I think there is no greater burden than anybody could have. I've been preparing this for a long time. And, my theme is make America great again. We're going to make America great again. But, Matt, we've also got to make America strong again. And right now we are not strong. Believe me, we have a depleted military. We have the greatest people in the world in our military, but it is very sadly depleted.
The Republican nominee for President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, so that's the end. First off, I want to say that when Matt Lauer asked him, is he prepared to step into office day one and make that call? Hey, Matt Lauer, are you prepared when you step foot day one and do a new job as an interviewer? Are you ready to take on NBC Nightly News and do a fucking presidential debate? Are you that confident in your skills? I'm pretty sure Matt Lauer would say yes. Right? I would have totally deflected that shit back on him and be like, what the fuck are you saying, pussy?
Well, dude, I kind of like I don't want to say brain dead, but my brain's kind of numb after that.
Right?
Dude, that was a lot of talking out of both sides of everybody's neck. It was just a bunch of double talk.
Jesus Christ. And I want to hear...
I was more entertained by D. Treasy, though.
He's... I need a moment to collect my thoughts, and I would like to... I would like to invite the listening and viewing audience to hang around. We're going to discuss all of this for the next couple of hours. and answer your questions with our opinions on things, and invite you to also call in and do the same thing. I'll open up the phone lines after we take a break. We got to get up. Ice has got to get up and move around because he's got blood clots, and if I don't get up and move around, I'll have blood clots.
Someone remind me to get into this where Matt Lauer started chewing his ass about having a board of directors, essentially, that he would take advice from, and if you thought the general's advice was good ideas, he would take them. If not, will somebody remind me to get into that? Well, because I got some words about that.
He's got
question.
A plan, though.
Yeah, he has a plan. He doesn't want to share the plan with the enemy.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at more of just someone to remind me, please.
I'll remind you, and we'll talk about how part of his plan involves completely cleaning house at the upper levels of the military and replacing them with whom?
Yeah, other dudes that aren't fucking brainwashed faggots. Hey, remember how for the past 4 years we've been hearing about Obama weeding out non-compliant generals and shit?
Yeah.
He wants to weed out maybe the compliant generals, the yes men.
Maybe he wants to weed out all the generals.
That you could take it both ways, right? Obama's been weeding out the non-compliant ones that are like, "Hey, sir, this isn't a good idea."
Oh, and you're fired.
You know what? Relieved of command.
Yeah.
What's his name? Petraeus.
Yes.
Right. For example, we can. Okay. Anyways, carry on. Let's wrap this up. We can just not take a break and go on for this.
Yeah, we'll take a break, and this break's going to be the newest. Well, it's the first half of the newest chop that Jay Reddy did for us, and Jay Reddy's saying it's back on. That thing's over with. It was only an hour long.
I like the crap out of this. This is featuring. Is this featuring the mini, the Raptor 13? Yeah.
Yes.
Raptor 13's debut, I guess.
Raptor 13's debut. Am I mistaken that this thing is over with? I think it's done.
I don't know. Fucking dickface Lauer's still talking.
We don't care about what Lauer has to say. All he did was get interrupted repeatedly by.
If they bring out Clinton again, I'll scream in your ear, and then we'll fucking.
I'm looking at the TVs, and it's only blocked off for an hour, so it's over at 9.
All right, so Rachel says, "Well, there's an hour of my life I cannot get back." Unfortunately, these are the things that we must suffer.
Wait for the next 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wait for the next 2 hours. There's still 2 hours to go here on WTF Nation Radio, and you'll get to hear lots of things and stuff. I can't be more specific than that because I don't have a plan. I'm not even going to pretend to tell you that I have a plan. I have no plan.
There's gonna be shit coming out of our mouths that we don't even think is gonna fuck it. We're gonna listen to this podcast tomorrow and be like, really? Yeah, said that. In the meantime, tune into Rachel Maddow or listen to our music because Rachel Maddow's taking over for Matt Lauer. She's such a peach. Look at her man neck. Oh my god.
Good.
He's pretty cute, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good looking. He's a pretty good looking chick.
I'd fuck that dude.
All right, we'll take this break, guys. We'll be back in less than 8 minutes right here on WTF Nation Radio.
Shots.
Made by Jay Reddy, WTF Nation Radio. Suck it, nerd shots.
What is going on, guys? Goal! Come on in. Shoot the shit. See what's going on. I've had some mix of some drinks and some Coke, and I am fucking hyper as shit. Nuh-uh. Holy fuck.
Unless you enjoy the brown bags. Hey, brother, you want the fucking hot shower? That ain't for me.
What did you say, nay for me?
That ain't for me.
So what you got going on, man? An unstable vet? What you doing?
So I called I called to well, obviously not do words.
No, I was about to say, bro.
Hermione's fucking coming in with her wetness.
In case you guys don't know what clouds are, they're a visible mass of condensed water vapor floating in the atmosphere, typically high above ground.
Cock knuckle of Florida.
You rock, motherfucker.
Oh, get the feels. Oh, I'm off a clip. Oh.
$5, motherfucker.
This millennial little fucktard.
Not no weak ass pickled shit. They kneel before WTFNationRadio.com. Yeah, I can't for the Noctia boot.
Right, like I should have just gone out as soon as the sprinkler's gone off and just fucking butthole into a fucking sprinkler head. And it was bloody.
You guys have heard it first here on WTFNationRadio.com. Radio business with Raptor 7 and Ice. Holy crap. Right, we got a generation of fucking pussies. That's what's happening. That's why I can't wait for the zombie apocalypse to fucking happen. Fuck them skinnies. Yeah, my girlfriend broke up with me because I didn't Skype with her. Motherfucker, really?
Oh, Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, I was just about ready to hit that. Dude, that's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Dude has a pretty big dick.
And put a 2x4 in your ass so you don't fucking fall in. I'm going to keep going with the fucking big cooter cave.
You could imagine fisting a chick in the butthole?
Until I watched that video, I never actually saw anybody get gonorrhea before.
I know how a fucking vagina works, damn it. Oh, you got fucking cheated because you got bonus points.
Everybody's a winner. We're being too fucking hyphy.
What has it got? Letters in it?
Yeah, hello. What do you like to call? I want some alcohol. Would you like some alcohol? No, I don't want that fucking shit to happen, bro.
Suck it, nerd. Grenstall, you're a bunch of fuckers.
Because my tweeter that I never use is a friend of the radio's tweeter. Twat. Have you met Inbred Jed? And this goes out to everybody else that's in the earshot of my voice going into your fucking rape hole. We need from you, Ben-Hur. What's this guy's name?
Inbred Jed.
How many hours a week can you dedicate to our twatter and such?
Let's see. I'm a stay-at-home dad. My kids are in school. All of them. Yeah, for 13 years. I was born and raised in Tennessee. I have an extensive Second Amendment collection.
Can you use punctuation properly? Like, do you know the proper use of commas and periods and shit?
Yeah, can you English, motherfucker?
I got my learning in school pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, that.
All right, here, I'm gonna give you a test.
That English thing was my best subject in school.
I'm gonna give you a test.
Okay.
Don't sound like it when I talk, but
hey, you know what? And I'm not like trying to swing on your nuts by any means, but you are gangster as fuck, man.
Any advice that representative variety is not a direct reflection of WTFNationRadio.com or use something different ones.
Did somebody say wiener?
Yeah.
Oh, Badger. Hi.
Okay. Oh, sweet. What's up, Badger, man? How you been?
Oh, doing pretty good. Chilling out here with Boots tonight.
That's good. Have you put it in your butt?
Tried.
Hi. Hey, Boots.
Okay.
Hey, Boots.
Hey, what's up?
Boots. It's all there.
You let Badger put it in your butt. Hey, Boots, did you let Badger put it in your butthole?
No, I didn't.
Why?
Because that's a no-go zone.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not.
You don't let him punch the donut?
You are a hateful woman.
That's the fun zone.
That's what he's got a horse for.
What? You don't fuck.
Ice, can I bring a screeching halt to this because I need our new prospect to interrogate Boots as to why she is such a stingy bitch that she won't let the dick go in the
I will not tolerate anal Junus. Go ahead, go.
Oh God.
What exactly causes the anus area, the anal cavity, to be a red zone no-go area?
Possibly because it's an exit only.
We don't say where's that goddamn thing.
What's up, Jay Reddy? Oh, my baby.
You got to come with a better reason than that. That one-way street, exit only. No, those answers are not valid. Try again.
Okay, well, I'm going to put it out there that we tried, and he's just too damn big.
Find it hard to believe that Badger's too big for butt sex.
Dude, you rocking a fat baby's arm over there, dude?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly inebriated, so it's probably not going to come out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't show it to us.
Yeah, what size are we talking about? Are we talking, do we have a point of reference here as far as length and girth?
You rocking a 9er?
Magnum size.
So what's Magnum size? See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are Magnum size, and some people...
Is it a loose Maggie or a tight Maggie?
I'm sorry.
A dick too big for some butt sex?
No.
It would be painful for a chick?
No.
Okay. All right, continue with your interview.
Now, do you... Magnum size, do you mean 44 Magnum? Do you mean Magnum rims? Can you be a little more specific?
He means the blick cock fucking howitzer, lap howitzer, fucking Megadeth.
8 inches.
So
that's it.
So they're talking about is that an average size? Is that considered Magnum? Is that
no? That's extremely large. Magnum is like fucking Mogadishu.
The Mogadishu Mile and shit.
Okay, everybody, as threatened, we have returned, and we are here to answer all of your questions, probably in a roundabout way, and not ever give you an exact answer. Kind of like what we just watched for the past hour. Welcome to What the Fuck Wednesday. I'm your guest host tonight, Redleg, and Jim Beam and Raptor 6, who usually handle things tonight, are here. I'm just going to try to stay out of the way.
Fuck out our way, bitch.
Well, now, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, man. Fuck.
Oh, are you angry because of what just transpired over the past hour?
Between that and just getting off work to come home and listen to that, like with no break, I barely had time to crack my beer open. Then I had to listen to Hillary immediately after a dreadful 12-hour day at work. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a culmination.
You know, I was kind of disappointed in that this thing was announced and advertised and kind of leaned heavily on the IAVA putting this thing on as a forum, a question and answer session by the veteran community for these two presidential candidates. And what I heard was a lot of, I'm so awesome, I'm so cool, look at what I've done, here's what I'm going to do, and just a lot of lip service and not a whole lot of answering of the questions. And really, because they talk in such a roundabout manner, not a whole lot of questions, period, were able to be asked. I was a little disappointed, and I'm not disappointed in the IABA. I'm disappointed in Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. Let me get this phone call.
You know what? You know what's going on right now is they got Rachel Maddow, thick-necked, manly woman, Rachel Maddow, interviewing some dude. And they just asked some big-ass buff veteran wearing a biker vest, what are you going to do about veteran homelessness and veteran suicide? And this guy's double-talking him, and this dude looks pissed. So if you're not watching MSNBC right now,
keep an eye on that. He might jump up there and kick that dude's ass.
You know that this dude's one of the real veterans that want to know some fucking answers, and these questions were probably all scripted and shit. Yeah, there's a real vet that was asking a question, and they totally cut him off, and they're playing him off. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, sorry.
You know, we got there were quite a number of comments in the Facebook Live chat during this forum that the whole thing was scripted, that the questions were scripted.
Well, they were definitely screened.
Definitely screened. I think that the way that this needs to happen is they show up, we start yelling questions at them.
I think the only positive out of this entire thing is that they talked about the veteran suicide rate. But you know what's going to happen, which I fear is we're all going to keep our mouths shut, us as a veteran and military community, and not say shit anymore about the 22 a day. You want to talk shit about 22 push-ups, you want to talk shit about fucking whatever, the social media challenges, whatever. It brings awareness, and now The Rock and other people are doing it, and the message is finally getting out there since we've been doing it for a year, and we've been burnt out on, like, fuck the 22 a day, it's useless, right? Now it's finally got so far into social media that fucking people are noticing, right? It got brought up today, right? Trump corrected the 20 that Hillary and Matt Lauer kept saying to 22, even though that number may or may not be vague, but at least it got mentioned. What I fear is
it meant something.
It shows that
something, but what I fear is that now it's going to go by the wayside.
It showed me when Trump corrected that young lady that he, at least on some level, has an awareness of the issue, that he knows that the prevalent number on social media is 22, and
she just heard some shit some intern told her, and she's like, oh yeah, 20, we'll just round it off to there because that's my fucking
Well, he had met with the guy several months ago. I can't remember what they gave him the ring or whatever. I can't remember what organization he represented. It was some suicide awareness.
22 Child Honor, one of those guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So yeah, I know he met with the guy in particular, and they gave him the ring on stage and all that. Was like, but
Raptor 7, I heard you ask the question during that thing, man. I don't want you to think I was ignoring you because I made a note. You wanted to know what TAPS is.
Yes.
TAPS is the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. It's a national nonprofit
Oh, is that like a
organization.
Gold Star Foundation of some sort?
Yeah, kind of. Their whole thing is I guess their kind of catchphrase is survivors helping survivors heal.
Hey, Raptor Mom, maybe we can get those guys on the show one of these days, because me or neither or are my counterpart here that's in the room with me. I've heard of them before.
Raptor Mom, make a note. Let's try to get TAPS on the show. That'd be great for for the listening audience, and especially those who, because I'm not so stupid as to believe that the only people who listen to this show are service members or veterans.
Right. So they're more of a grief counseling type of service?
Yeah. Their specialty, I guess, is in that they counsel people who have had loved ones die in the service of this nation. So
I just sent her a message.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kaz. And I'm probably, in order to take phone calls, I'm going to have to restart the phones because it's acting all fucky.
Hey, I wanted to throw out a group that's also, since we were on the topic of 22 a day, not to get too deep into it, but Stack on Me is a group that supports us, U.S. Army What the Fuck Moments, and WTF Nation Radio. And we were simulcasting, and we're still simulcasting over on Stack on Me. So if you guys get a chance, go over there. They're another kind of battle and distress type of site. You need somebody to talk to. You can't get a hold of Battle and Distress, get a hold of Stack on Me. We'll get that dude on here pretty soon that runs that up. But that's a good website. We've been streaming over there all night.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you didn't, because I told somebody that has admin rights to just fucking do it. So
right on.
Go check them out. Stack on Me. But that's what they do. They're like a battle and distress type of thing. And you need somebody to talk to. It's a group of vets, and they're there to help, just like BID or anything else. So wanted to throw that out there.
There's no shortage of organizations out there, and for the most part, they all provide a service, just like TAPS and Stack on Me and Battle and Distress and so on and so forth. And it's amazing to me, man, that with so many organizations, as loose-knit as they may be, by veterans, for veterans, that we really don't have that big of a voice when it comes to the government. The IAVA, they're pretty big. Right. But I have a confession to make. Up until I learned of this forum that was, I guess, sponsored by them, I'd never heard of them before. Why haven't I heard of these guys if they have almost 3 million members?
I've heard of them. I don't mean to sound disrespectful when I say this. I'm saying it like a fucking veteran. They're a broke ass VFW. Well, not broke ass, but they're social media esque, and they do their get-togethers. Or imagine a VFW in a Warrior Point. That's how I would describe them, with my ignorance without talking to somebody from the organization. I'm not a member.
Okay.
But that's kind of what they're like.
So they're like a OIF, OEF centric, like a new age, kind of new era VFW type organization.
Yeah, so like if you feel like you're alienated being a OIF, OEF, or a K4 or whatever, S4 veteran, you could walk into that place feeling a little more welcome, because I personally have been alienated walking into VFWs, especially where I was at over on the West Coast. Raptor 6 has way better experiences. But if you tough it out and knuckle up, you could be welcome. But it's dudes more your generation, I should say.
Right. I guess what really needs to happen is, and it probably will at some point, for all these organizations, for everybody in this community to all come together as one loud voice as opposed to a hodgepodge of varying levels of voice. We got to get, the government needs to hear more than what they heard tonight, which, in the opinion of some, was a bunch of scripted questions.
What the fuck kind of questions were you going to do about fucking military assaults and shit like that? Like, I know that's a big issue, but that's not a presidential issue. That's not an issue affecting veterans. You're in front of a bunch of veterans, and what are you going to do about the UCMJ? Really? And prosecution of the UCMJ? Along with that went his Matt Lauer's criticism of him, saying, you're going to get a round table of 16 generals and you're going to take their advice? Well, yes, dumb shit, because I didn't spend 30 years in the military, you fucking faggot Matt Lauer. If I wanted to go interview somebody, you think I'd go ask fucking some bum on the street corner, or you think I'd ask Matt Lauer? The fuck, man? What kind of question was that? I had to sit through the answer to that question? Dude,
well, they were both stupid.
5 minutes.
The amount of time we spend right now, number one, on sexual assault prevention, if it goes any further, we're as service members, we're just going to be professional PowerPoint sexual assault attendees. I mean,
dude, I almost think that guy was a plant. I think he was a plant to burn time. Seriously. What kind of question is what you going to do? Well, of course, they're all weeded questions, and they pick the tame ones. But, like, what the fuck kind of question is what are you going to do about sexual assaults in the military? Really, that has nothing to do under what the fucking president has to say. That's the fucking Uniform Code of Military Justice, not the fucking federal law and the civilian court.
Well, I like how I thought it was interesting that Donald Trump alluded to the fact that there really is no criminal justice system in the military. But there is.
Well, he's just trying to tell civilians to mind your business. That's how I interpreted
it. People are ignorant about the whole fucking situation. Yeah, sexual assault, I'm sure it's a fucking problem, but it has been inflated to such a point where, there's not a whole lot of people convicted because due process, right? You get accused of something, either the chick wakes up and either wants to lash out at the command and say, well, and this goes both ways. He or she didn't recommend me for promotion, so hey, look how easy it is. I'll make this accusation, and boom, unit's ruined. And I'm not saying that happens every time, but I'm saying I know for a fact it does happen. I've been witness to it.
I think it's been scared into people more than it actually does happen. I mean, I was only in for 4 years, and I never ever saw or heard of anybody that went to fucking some kind of court martial over a sexual assault. I've heard of leaders being accused of sexual harassment or, discrimination, that kind of shit, sexual discrimination. But I've never seen in my tenure, even in the civilian world, anybody ever get like really seriously jammed up without being blatantly guilty of like fucking a 14-year-old or something like that.
You know what I mean? I think that the military is on the stuff that goes on in the military is just a smaller scale representation of what happens in the rest of the United States, because the members of the United States military come from the population of the United States of America. So I think I think there's a parity there. I think it's a sampling of the rest of the civilian population of the United States. So the things that happen in the civilian world happen in the military. I don't know exactly what the racial makeup of the United States military is, but I'm going to assume that it's probably somewhat similar to the overall racial makeup of the United States. Same thing with the number of criminals is probably a similar percentage. DUI is probably a similar percentage. The things where the military differ from the civilian population are definitely, like physical injuries. you're going to see more people suffer from physical injuries. You're going to have more people suffering from depression. You're going to have more people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and committing suicides, and that's got to be at a higher level. But I mean, why wouldn't the military be just kind of a representation of the population of the United States? So for anybody to insinuate somehow that there's a sexual assault problem that's greater in the military than it is in the rest of the country, that's just crazy. You think that dude was a plan, or was that chick that? No, that was a dude, the retired radio operator.
Well, and the only reason that is because let's take any company out, Google. If Google has an incident of sexual assault, the person in question does not go to their local congressman and report it because they have nothing to do with Google and shit. Well, that's an internal problem and they fix it. However, in the military, shit like that goes on. Somebody calls a congressman, then a congressman makes it their their rallying cry,
their pet project
they did. Yeah, and then it becomes a big deal. And the way everybody sees it on the outside is, what's going on in the military? Because we get the spotlight put on us because people can call congressmen, then the congressman's going to come down on the command, and the command is going to, drop on their knees the second any kind of a political official comes down them saying, hey, what the fuck's going on? You need to fix it now. And then, boom, there's the spotlight. So
right.
That's why the light's put on the military and not the civilian places, because they keep that in-house. They fire people, they refer it to the local authorities, and they deal with it. The end.
And like you said, with the military being a government organization, then you got all it takes is for one congressman to make it his pet project. Boom, we have this. You see it on the news. There's a major problem with sexual assaults in the military. Well, there's a major problem with sexual assaults nationwide. You just don't hear about it.
You know what the more major problem is? The fact that they brought up 22 a day or 20 a day for fucking 40 minutes, and then they changed it to 22 a day when Tree Diesel, corrected it. But that's going to go by the wayside. You know what's not? Oh, the sexual assaults in the military. Shit that doesn't matter. There's already sharp training up the fucking butthole. Literally. Sexual assault training up the butthole is what's happening. Get the humor in that? You guys see what I did there? But this 22 a day thing is going to go by the wayside. Veteran homelessness is going to go by the wayside. Everything that's a veteran's issue didn't get fucking brought up. You know what got brought up? Oh, what about your emails? Oh, what about the sexual assault? Oh, what are you going to do about fucking some shit you can't control? What are you going to do about fucking Iran circling our jets? This had nothing to do with the vets. The only VA questions got fired off really at fucking Hillary, and she beat around the bush saying, I don't ask you to look at my recent history. I ask you to look at my track record.
Right.
Well, here's the thing with the scripted questions. My first problem, and I understand it's national television, and that there has to be some measure of control so one of us doesn't get up there and is like, hey, how do you feel about full frontal male nudity? Got it. I understand that.
Yes. They were all reading from cards.
I do think that there should be an internal mechanism from the networks, even though there's always going to be a leak, but in a perfect world where a panel of people could screen the question and say, okay, this isn't too outlandish. The person being asked the question, whether Hillary, Donald, they don't need to fucking know it.
As long as there's not me whipping my ball sack out saying, I would challenge you to the fucking hot sauce challenge, then fucking you're good.
But what I noticed is most of the questions were ones that they have already repeatedly answered and probably already knew about ahead of time. I was like, all right, cool. I've already tap danced this 50,000 times. No problem. I'll do it again.
Right. So now I know exactly what to say. It's worked in the past and it's going to work again.
So that's kind of my analysis of pretty much the entire thing.
I would Raptor 7. He's a Republican and his dick is out.
I would much rather have seen some 18-year-old private stand up.
I told you my dick was out 4 months ago. Why are you still fucking commenting about my dick being out? I just want some fat bitches to fucking suck on it. Why do you keep asking me about my dick is out?
I would much rather have seen some 18-year-old private stand up with a wrinkled ass fucking uniform on and say, you know, the food in our chow hall really sucks, and what are you going to do about that when you get elected, than to listen to these motherfuckers read off these scripted questions that they already have the answers to.
We need new felt on the pool tables at the NWR.
well, young Private Redleg.
I had to pull a CQ twice in 1 month, and it's unfair.
Private Redleg, what I'm going to do is I will make sure the finest spaghetti noodles are
They'll be glorious.
I went out one night and they made me go hogging.
I think the only legitimate tough question, in my opinion, that was asked Clinton, that fucking cunt, was from the Air Force pilot who basically said and called her out. It was like, hey, I had access to top secret SCI shit. If I slipped up the way you did, I'd be in fucking handcuffs. And then she went and tap danced around that. I was surprised that question was asked or allowed to be asked.
So am I, actually. When that happened, you and I both were like, boom.
Yeah.
What up? Nothing happened.
Hey, I see you trying to call in, guys. The phones are jacked up. I'm gonna take. You guys want me to take a break now? Middle of the show break thing.
Yeah. I wanted to like talk more shit about fucking Clinton tap dancing around that fucking the only question. So you know what? They probably nerfed that question. I'll bet you that dude walked in there with his question written down, right? Because they're like, okay, so you applied, you're invited now to this DNC thing with us. Your questions have to be filtered through the public, media channels, and it got whittled down from, hey, this motherfucker over here took pictures of a submarine engine room, nothing important, to show his child. And you're sending things that are way more important over fucking public email servers. And he's going to prison and you are running for president. They probably nerfed that question from that to what got asked.
Yeah.
How fucking sick is that? I firmly believe that in my head. It's gonna take me being there to believe that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure he said, how come this young sailor gets 10 years in prison or gets threatened with it, and now he's facing court-martial for that, and you sent 30,000, and they had a C in the thing, and 7 days ago you said you didn't know shit, you're dumb, right? And now you're saying you've been briefed and you're a professional and fucking security analysis or what the fuck ever.
Well, she took an online course this week, and now she knows how to handle classified information, how to identify it.
German Head Start, like voice to Bonhoeffer.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? So, dude, what is this German Head Start? You get like 3 hours of classes before you get to be Secretary of State. I had to take more hours of that when I went to Germany just for the fuck of it.
Man.
I don't even deal with secret shit anymore in my new capacity, and I still have to take that stupid online training every year, like twice. I'm not even dealing with classified shit anymore.
But you have to stay like up to date to keep your clearance.
Hey, let me ask every single person on this call, and let's go round robin, starting with the host, and then I'll go second, and then Raptor 6, and then Cause, and then whoever else. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. If you got something on a government email, would you then forward it on your personal email and expect zero repercussions, even if there wasn't a huge header that said top secret or classified? Or she said nothing about the C with the parentheses. I don't know about that either, but I haven't been briefed in national security. But would you forward anything you got from the government, period?
No.
While you were in the military, that was military business, on your personal email. Like, would you forward that to yourself and be like, "Oh, Creefus at Gmail"?
No,
I mean, let me forward this.
I'll do you one better. Even though I'm not in the military, I have separate email addresses, like for work and for Red Leg, and I don't mix the two because I don't want to accidentally, send my boss a dick pic or something. When I meant to send it to Mrs. Redleg over my personal email, because
last thing you'd want is a J-Ready chop going to your boss.
Yeah. so I keep them separate. And surely listen, nobody's that fucking stupid. She knew she was handling sensitive information, classified or otherwise. Route it through your personal server. So my answer, no, I'm not that retarded.
Okay, so I have 3 emails. I have Raptor 7, I have my personal, and then I have my business. I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook, and I have fucking my other Facebook. So I keep my shit separated just because I don't believe in mixing business and pleasure, because it makes you look bad in the business aspect. I don't want to have a house party where my work colleagues or employees or friends are at the same place as my personal friends. That's bad news for your career, generally speaking. In my case, it is. I'm pretty sure in most of our cases it is. So I'm not an idiot. I would know.
Well, here's the thing. Dealing with classified information now, I don't even know how I would do. I mean, I know how I could do it if I wanted to, and it would have to be deliberate. But on our computer systems, back when I dealt with it, I had to do a few things. Number one, I had a combination of our safe with secret hard drives. I would have to pull that hard drive out every time, log it out, put it in the computer, and then load it up. And I also had a SIPR token. That's the secret. It's basically the CAC card for the shit. It has a chip, and you have your own password to log into the SIPR net. And then I have my secret interwebs where all my classified emails go. And I can't access on the interwebs my Gmail or any of that shit, only the approved shit that the system allows, because it's built that way. So I can't forward my shit from my SIPR email to my Google. I would have to actually burn it off of the SIPR computer and then load it onto a non-classified computer and then upload it and send it an email. Now, yeah, can you get classified shit? Yeah, because I could do that, and then I could forward it to somebody. But if I got it forwarded to me by somebody who did that, and if it was a friend of mine, I'd be like, hey, dude, what the fuck are you doing? This shit's classified as fuck. Wrong computer. You need to unfuck yourself. But there's a lot in that. I don't know how different the State Department is or whatever, but I'd have to imagine they have similar processes in place on the 2 different networks. So she was just grossly incompetent and negligent. And there's no sugarcoating it or making excuses. It is what it is. But unfortunately, the layman, especially people who haven't served in the military, she's able to kind of fucking bamboozle with her, wordplay and all that other shit. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that seems like a reasonable mistake. When you ask somebody like me, I'm like, fuck no, that was grossly negligent, and she totally fucking knew.
Dude, was it just me, or were all of you guys super fucking... Did you guys watch it on video?
Oh, yeah.
Was it just me, or I was hugely offended. I was more offended when this bitch stood up to answer her first fucking question from Matt Lauer and, like, cupped her hands, and she's wearing a red suit because, you could read books on politics and how to manipulate, viewers based on visual cues, blue tie, red tie, blah, blah, blah. This fucking cunt always wears blue suits. Always. She stands up in front of a bunch of veterans, wears a red suit. Visual cue, right? Republican. Republicans and Democrats do the same thing. If they're trying to be peaceful, they'll wear an off-color tie, like they'll wear a blue tie. If they're trying to be a little more hostile, they'll wear a red tie. If you're trying to pander to Republicans, red. Democrats, blue. Grays and neutral colors. If you're trying to, we killed Osama bin Laden, you wear a fucking gray tie. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way you do things. It's the power ties. It's a thing. It's psychology. It's a fact. Psychology is a thing. This bitch stood up here, wore a red fucking jacket in her stupid fucking pantsuit. The first question she was asked, she stood up and cupped her hands in a non-threatening manner and tried to look at everybody in the audience in the eyes while she was answering this question in a roundabout fucking way and shaking her hands. Matt Lauer's at her fucking 4 o'clock, right? And he can't even interrupt her because she's not fucking letting him. Maybe even scared for the next question. She hasn't had a reporter interview since like day before yesterday, maybe 3 days ago, when she finally allowed reporters on the plane to do a press conference. And they asked her, how was your day and what'd you have for lunch?
How was your weekend?
How was your weekend? Motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah,
and
who
then Matt
gives a
Lauer's
fuck?
like, yeah, dude, fuck you fucking faggots, dude. You pandering fucking cunts. You're going to stand up here and insult the veteran community, in my eyes, wearing a red suit. You're going to stand up, because we're all in an uproar about Kaepernick and shit, right? So she's going to actually stand up when a question's answered and then ignore Matt Lauer, ignore any further questions, and just spout her mouth off like Raptor 6 said about shit we've heard for the last fucking 3 goddamn months. Insulting as a motherfucker to me. That's just, my opinion on Hillary. We can get on Trump later if you want.
But there's a big difference between the populace at large and then those of us, especially in the veteran community, that fucking pay attention to global events and world events and even our local events. So I guess the way that we consume her information is a lot different than, James Smiley down the fucking street who has no military experience or interest.
Well, dude, it kind of pisses me off. I feel like the normal civilian populace watched this shit and saw Hillary stand up and cup her hands wearing a red suit, and all this shit appealed to them because she's appealing to veterans, even though she didn't say shit but piss us off.
Veterans are smart.
Yeah, well, we're not fucking stupid. Then she's going to tell us, well, we're not going to have any more ground troops. Really, bitch? That's going to fix the problem?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody that this thing was advertised as for veterans and for the military, and everybody who this was supposed to be for has a vested interest in who the next commander-in-chief is going to be. And I can't help but feel like we were slighted because they took too long, both candidates took too long to tap dance around each question and talk about nothing and just essentially fill airtime to avoid being asked further questions. And I hope I'm not the only person that picked up on that they were trying to avoid talking to us and answering our questions.
They were. There was that fact.
That's politics.
That they were dicking around wasting airtime. Yeah, politics, like Jim just said. They're dicking around wasting airtime to avoid our questions. Our questions were watered the fuck down. I'm sure the hard questions weren't even, they were just like trash.
Yeah.
And then the hard questions, like Kaz pointed out mid-debate, was, notice the tone difference between Hillary Clinton's questions and the way Lauer's asking fucking Trump questions? He questioned Trump on, you're really gonna fucking have a board of generals and get their feedback before you make a decision, like you're not competent enough to make a decision as a president? You know what? If you're in charge of a fucking small business or a big business or a fucking huge, large box like Walmart or a fucking country, you have a board of directors, or you have in a small box a certain group of tight-knit people. You have 2 or 3 dudes. You're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Bounce ideas off, right? Brainstorm. The bigger you move up, the bigger your group or chairman of the board or security council, motherfuckers.
Or, Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yeah, Joint Chiefs of Staff, everybody. That's your advisors. You have advisors to advise you on different outlooks before you fucking rein in on some shit. Hey, Red Leg, didn't the other day you made a decision? And I'm like, you really think that's a great idea? And you're like, I thought it was.
That happens.
Right? Yeah, I've made horrible business decisions thinking they'd be great ideas, and I've had people be like, you really want to do that? And I'm like,
I did.
Now that I spun my fucking thread around that symbol, no.
I did, but not anymore. Now that you mention it.
What kind of question is that, Matt Lauer? You're gonna ask generals.
I think he was trying. You know what, man? He was trying to be cute, and I'm like you. I didn't really appreciate that because, yeah, of course he's going to ask other people for their opinions. That's his advisors. You hit the nail on the head. Come on, man. Fuck you, Matt
Supposed to be
Lauer.
a fucking end all be all.
Like he's not the dictator of the country. Yeah, he kind of has advisors to help him make these decisions.
And the Constitution affords for that. The thing is, he's going to appoint his advisors, and I'm sure they're going to be fucking awesome advisors. And it's upon Trump, if he is elected the president, to fucking listen to his advisors. And that's my only holdback on being 100. I mean, I'm like 98% in for Trump, only because I think he's in a better place to make the better decisions for the country. But he's really got to bring his ego in and actually listen to his advisors.
You think Hillary will at all?
No.
She'll appoint a bunch of yes men and she'll do whatever the fuck she wants.
She'll repay some favors.
Maybe Trump will do whatever the fuck he wants too. But at least I think he'll appoint intelligent dudes. And I have a strong feeling that Trump, the reason we lost Vietnam is because of politics. The reason we've been fucked up in a lot of wars is because politics got involved. The wars we've won is because we've let the generals fucking command the goddamn shit, and advised and said, maybe that's a good idea, maybe that's not a good idea.
Well, in my mind, the way Trump's mind works, at least in my opinion, is because he's an outsider from politics, and he's pretty much, I guess, for lack of a better term, ignorant as to a lot of shit that Washington insiders are, like with generals and all this shit. So he's going to have a learning curve, and I think it's more of a defense mechanism when he talks out of his ass, kind of saying, "Yeah, I know more than generals." Yeah, he's a Type A personality.
Exactly.
He doesn't want people to sit there and think he's unable to do the job. So he's like, "Yeah, I know better." Maybe he thinks he does, but he's still going to listen to them at the end of the day as the commander-in-chief.
Unfortunately,
the buck stops there.
Unfortunately for Trump, the thing that always makes him look like a doofus is the fact that he's not a career politician and has no experience in politics. And, despite the fact that he's by all accounts a shrewd businessman and at least a leader in the business world, he can't say, well, I did this, 20 years ago as a young senator, and I did this 10 years ago as Secretary of State, and I've done this, and I've been in this cabinet, and I've done this. So he comes off to the average person as a dumbass because he has no experience in politics. But anybody with half a brain can understand that running this country is tantamount to running a huge business. And he's a businessman.
His marketing himself for the presidential candidacy, or whatever, I'm drunk. It reminds me of when I market myself for a job. Oh, well, I've met all these sales goals, and I've made all these contacts, and I know all these people, and I'm huge, right? They all love me. Anytime I talk to anybody, it's good. You send me to any job interview, and it's got to be huge. I'm going to land any client you throw in my face. I'll tell you right now that they'll pay for it right now. That's how he comes across, and that's how you have to present yourself in business a lot of times.
I'll say this one thing that kind of stood out to me. Donald Trump says the phrase "very good" more than any other adult person I have ever seen in my life.
I like it. I like the fuck out of it. And then when Matt Lauer, what did Matt Lauer read? Matt Lauer read a comment, and he said that it was something with Vladimir Putin, and he said when asked earlier what your relationship with Vladimir Putin was going to be, he said, my relationship with Vladimir Putin is going to be good. I'm sure it'll be very good. And that's what Matt Lauer quoted back to him. I almost died, dude. You could tell. You could read that. Okay, let's play Guess That Tune, right? My relationship with Vladimir Putin is going to be very good. It'll be the best relationship ever.
Oh.
Who said that?
Donald Trump's greatest hits.
Oh, yes. Oh, you win a bumper sticker.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I don't know why people give him shit about it. I know, obviously, that between our ideologies in this country and Russia, whatever, the past, but the fact that the third, I'm assuming the third largest superpower in the world right now, Russia, what's wrong with having at least a relationship, like not a shitty one, like their fuck you moments when Obama and him shake hands. What could be so possibly bad about Donald Trump not being hated by Putin? I mean,
I don't think there's anything, dude. Coming from a military's perspective, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. At least we're not bowing to foreign leaders. You know what? The dude from the Philippines just called President Obama a son of a bitch.
Yeah,
son of a whore.
Son of a bitch and son of a whore. And now he's being apologetic.
Oh yeah, only because he said
Did he
that
know
I
his
don't
mama?
want to be enemy of the most powerful nation in the country
Yeah.
or the world, whatever.
And he doesn't want to lose any foreign aid.
and then Lauer started bitching. He's like, "Oh well, Putin annexed Crimea. So what? We fucking annexed Iraq, Afghanistan. I mean, we're in a glass house here.
Yeah, we annexed a good part of North America. Texas used to be part of Mexico. Come on, dude.
Hey, go fuck yourselves. What, Jim? I want to hear what Jim says.
My fuck's capacitor exploded, so I lost 101.21 give a fucks.
Oh, very good. Very good. I'm going to start saying very good. You know what? I'm going to dumb down my vocabulary a little bit and use... Does Trump think he's speaking the common man's language when he says very good?
I think Trump speaks business, dude, for real. My honest opinion is he speaks business, and I like it. I like it. I like when you speak synergy. And
yeah, but he's not using the buzzwords, dude. Very good.
Dude, you know what? Very good applies. He's trying to apply to the fucking common man, right? Hillary says black vote, right? Or whatever the fuck she says. We're appealing to the minorities. Trump is racist. Is that vocabulary? Trump is racist? That's how to fucking get across your point? You fucking sloppy-faced cunt.
I don't like Hillary.
That's the way he communicates with his wife so she can understand. Very good.
Very good.
I'll bet.
How's this outfit? Man. Very good.
Very good.
How's this pussy? Very good.
Hillary
I was really hoping that
makes my skin crawl.
Dude, you know what? I'd much rather have another fucking... I'd rather have a first lady that has porn pictures of her wrapped in a leopard skin coat looking sexy on a fucking private jet than Hillary and Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky fucking floating around. They're just all, you know what, for the next 4 years. All right, let me pose it to you this way, gentlemen. For the next 4 years of our lives,
fucking floating
we're going to
around.
be doing Monica Lewinsky jokes or T Dreezy fucking getting down on some fucking smatch, shaking hands with Putin, making billion-dollar deals, just fucking chopping it up with the Saudis like, hey, you know what? You give us your oil. We'll build you a palace. It'll be huge. And then... I
fucking cringed when he said, take their oil.
Dude, take their fucking oil. What are you guys talking about? All we had to do was stay there. Well, ISIS surrounded the oil fields and they took it. ISIS took the oil. So yeah, taking the oil, we could just take the oil. A lot of the civilians are going to look at that and be like, Trump's going to take the oil. How do you just take the oil? The way ISIS did. The fucking way ISIS did. They fucking surrounded it with ISIS and they're taking all the oil. And that's how they're funding their goddamn ISIS.
Trump said, well, we shouldn't have been over there, but since we went,
yeah, take their oil.
We should have took their oil.
Wasn't one of his answers tonight, I think, to a similar question was, we will bomb the you-know-what out of them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love that.
I like how he's reining in the profanity nowadays.
And they can go fuck themselves.
And they can go fuck themselves. D. Treasy, everybody.
I do not like this guy. I'll tell you what. If you're gonna go waste your bet on fucking Jeffrey Bush or Jeffrey fucking what's his name, Tom Delaney, who's
Johnson. Gary Johnson.
Tom Johansson. If you're gonna go fucking vote for Fred Johnson, you can go fuck yourself, dude. You're throwing away your vote I hate to say it, man, but we're in a country of you vote for the lesser evil. And if you're going to throw away your vote, just don't go vote, man.
It's political roulette. Like it or not, that's what it is. It's political roulette.
On red or
either
black.
pick a side. Because you're fucking, I'm just going to vote for him is going to determine maybe one of the two. Who knows? It can come back as close as the 2000 elections. And meanwhile, you're sitting there as a dickhead who voted for him. And now Hillary's sitting there like, oh, shit.
Oh, Hillary's so balls, man. What are we going to do now? You should have voted for fucking IJ fucking Johansson. Fucking
I understand
retards,
that people have a whatever as an American voter. They're like, well, I don't like either of them. So you know what? I'm just going to do this and make my stand. It's not making a stand. And I understand that you want to not put either of these in, but the bottom line is it is what it is. One of these two are getting in office. One of them is getting elected, and it's not Johnson.
How's that making a stand, really? This is a rhetorical question to you people that are going to vote.
I'll show you.
Yeah, for those of you that are voting for Johnson, how's that making a stand? So that you can say, well, at least I voted for Johnson. You know he's not going to win, you fucking retards, dude. Vote for somebody that you think is going to win. Stop being the fucking, I'm going to throw away my vote. I'm just going to vote just so I can fucking open my goddamn cock holster. Shut your mouth and fucking just don't vote. Johnson's never going to win unless he wins a bunch of electoral votes. Then not going to happen, right? You know, the first political ad I saw today was sitting here on the couch next to a 16-year-old boy, and he's like, who the fuck is Gary Johnson? And I was like, oh. And then I had to explain third-party politics, and I'm like, this is the first fucking campaign ad I've seen for him ever. Don't throw away your vote, right? I mean, I hate the fact that this is the voting of lesser or two evils. But
so what you're saying is pull a Richard Pryor like in Brewster's Millions and vote for none of the above.
Or light yourself on fire and let's burn the country down. So I'm either inciting, what do you call it? The overthrow of the government, a coup.
Revolution.
Fuck it, dude. If everybody wants to fucking have a coup, I'm down. But until we're all down to fucking organize and have a coup and get it organized through Twitter and social media, because I guess that's how they do it, then fucking don't vote for the shitty one. God damn it. Gary Johnson's not going to win, retards.
Those two are both, Trump and Hillary are both the shitty ones, in my opinion. But you got to pick one. But you know what, man? I gotta say that if less people would say Johnson's not going to win, and everybody started saying Johnson's going to win, and everybody voted for Johnson, then Johnson would win. Simple mathematics.
I'm always voting for my Johnson.
Oh yeah.
That dude's a fucking moron.
Well, so are the other two.
Well, he's at least we got a humorous moron. So now we got to vote for three evils. So are you going to throw away your vote? Vote for some devil fucking cunt? Or vote for some dude that's going to be the apprentice for the next 4 years? How awesome is that? Make your decision and at least do it on humor.
Did somebody else?
You're not going to make a difference.
Did some other celebrity that we shouldn't care about say that they were going to Spain if Trump won?
Amy Schumer.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Dude, what a you want to talk about train wrecks. That chick. She's got nothing going on. Oh, she's gross.
Well, apparently, Comedy Central thinks she's pretty funny, so they keep renewing her show.
Why?
And then some magazine thinks she's like kind of hot, or they think that shit's clever that she gets naked all over the place, all fat and flabby with,
gross.
Pancake, A-cup titties.
I think if for no other reason to vote for Trump, if you're on the fence, the fact that all these assholes that we all hate are claiming they might actually leave the country if he gets elected, that's enough for me.
I have exactly zero of these people leaving.
Boom. Well, Jon Stewart's kind of funny, dude.
I could live with that.
If we were to believe that they were leaving, that would be a reason. But I don't believe them. They're not going to leave because the money's here, and so is their
fuck no,
mansion.
dude. What are they getting their doors fucking knocked down from fucking Syria to go over there and fucking do a TV show? Absolutely not. The country these fucking faggots hate is a country that's paying their bills. Talk about fucking the hand or biting the hand that feeds you, right?
Or fucking the hand that strokes. What the fuck my hand from time to time?
The hand that strokes you? I'm down. Let's do some of that.
Oh, yeah. Amy Schumer.
Yeah, that disgusting. Dude, she is a filthy,
She's
filthy,
built her she's built her entire comedic career on I'm a whore, I'm a whore, I'm a whore. She's not even attractive. Gross.
That's why she's a whore.
Well, she has to be.
Yeah, I mean, because somebody's chasing that around.
I bet you she's good at sucking dick. She's probably sucked a lot of club manager dick in her day.
Probably.
Anybody, dude, you know what? I don't want to sound, braggadocious, but I feel like I'm a lot funnier than her. I feel like everybody on this phone call is way funnier than her.
And you don't see many guys standing up going, yeah, I'll fucking bang that.
Right. Her? Nah. Ugh.
I would just to punch her in the face while I'm doing it.
I'd just punch her in the face. I mean, skip all the gross banging.
Like gross banging.
She's not attractive. I don't get it. What the appeal is. Comedy Central loves her. Oh man, I turn on Comedy Central on the Sirius XM, and every other fucking segment is her talking about how she likes it in the butt, and how many dudes she fucked at the club, and whatever. It's not funny, you nasty slut. Let's take a break since we missed the last one.
And word. Yeah.
Everybody's got to hear the second half of Jay Reddy's latest chop.
This is kind of like an instructional thing for the butt stuff.
Yeah, it's an instructional thing for the butt stuff.
We tried to help. Don't blame us.
Where was I at when all this was going on?
Oh, you were.
I don't know. You were out of pocket.
I was making a stainless steel butt plug.
That's me.
Shots?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, shots.
Hello, I'm Redleg. In the 18 months since WTF Nation Radio first went on the air, we've grown far quicker than I'd ever anticipated. In fact, we've outgrown our current staff's capabilities, and some of them have threatened to quit if I don't get them some help. No, dude. No, okay, listen. Okay, no, I'll get you some help. Just don't quit. Hello? I've been told that we need help in the social media department. We have a social media department? In order to continue to grow as a radio station. That's not that I don't know how to do it. I just don't have time. F-A-C-D-B. Twitter? What the f? You see, my duties as station manager require me to dedicate my time elsewhere. No, I don't want to upgrade to triple play. I just want my internet to work. I need to speak to your supervisor. What's your name? Keith? Keith? You can barely speak English. Keith? What the f? I've also been told that we need to expand our audio production capabilities. Again, it's not that I don't know how to do audio production. I just don't have time. This looks good. Ah! If you're interested in joining the WTF Nation Radio team, head over to WTFNationRadio.com, click on Contact Us, and then click on Join Our Team. We're looking forward to working with you. Thank you for your interest in WTF Nation Radio.
When I was a kid, I used to pinch it at the end and pee and then blow up into a balloon.
What? Are you fucking... What is going on?
You just put your little elephant trunk right in the hole, and then you did peels the foreskin back, and you already got a fucking uncircumcised dicks are good for putting it in the ladies' butts.
You make it sound like you stuff it in, like stuff the skin in.
You make it sound like you stuff it in?
The trunk on your elephant foreskin dick. When you start to stick it in her ass, then it'll numb her ass, and then you'll be good to go. No problem, Boots.
It doesn't work like that at all. But I
so go ahead, Boots. What do you got to say about that?
Do you want to really know how to let his manliness inside of your anus
Well, I have just one question for him. How does he feel about full frontal male nudity since C-Dub isn't here to ask it for us?
That's good.
Hey, new guy, say, hey, turn your fucking mic off.
Caller, say words. Turn off the radio.
Can you fucking hear me? Hey.
Hey, who's this?
Sorry, technical difficulties over here.
Turn your radio down, please, ma'am.
Yes, you are. Wait a minute, this is fucking Allie. She's the one that keeps cheating on... Oh, fuck that. Go ahead, Jed.
All right, bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah.
You called. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, let's get the butt sex issue straight.
Okay, go ahead.
So, first of all, you fuckers that think you can go in with no lube.
We hadn't got to that part yet.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
You have to lick it before you stick it.
All right. So I've had both foreskin, non-foreskin. Lube is a must. Fuck spit. Fuck pre-cum. Lube is a must. There's no denying it. And this is a recent revelation for me. So this topic is, if you haven't tried it with lube, I mean, there's no such thing as being too big. I guarantee you that you've fucking taken a shit bigger than some dude's dick.
I love this girl.
Oh my God. Jeb, why don't you ask her right now, is spit not an adequate lube?
Ask her why it's not adequate.
Well, first of all, if you're having so much anal sex that any type of lube...
Spit it out.
Spit it out. Go ahead, man. Go.
If you've experienced so much anal sex that you've tried all the types of lube that there is, damn.
What's the question?
Okay, so what's the question? He just wants to know, so are you saying, come on, Jed, that's not how you attack the guests. You're supposed to be coming in there saying, okay, look, so you're saying that you can't use all other methods of what you just said you can't use to get the donut punched. So why are you that experienced that you know? That's what you're supposed to be asking her, man.
Yeah, you have to debate the lube state.
Yeah, you have to debate that au naturel from man, because if you want to get demasculated, go ahead. But this is not my interview. Go ahead, Jed. Go.
Go.
I'm waiting on your question, dude. Come on.
Go, Jed. Go.
That wasn't a question. That was an attack on your personal character.
Oh, fuck that. There's no... Just because I like sex, you can fucking attack my personal character all you want to. I fucking work with douchebags every day.
I love you, Allie.
Because inquiring minds want to know.
I'm starting to go, man.
So have you had uncircumcised and circumcised penises of the same girth and size and such?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you prefer?
Uncircumcised. All right, let me throw this out there though. The great thing about booty sex is if you have a big penis, if you're really packing down there, you're not gonna hit a vaginal wall. And this is what I've been told from, the booty call. You're not gonna hit the wall, you're not gonna hit the cervix. I mean, you have, free reign to just keep going and going, and it's fucking amazing. I mean, I know how it is for me.
If you're a gentleman that has not got some head with a little tip of finger in the butt, you're doing it wrong, man.
What?
I gotta tell you.
And just give it a little pressure.
Yeah, you give it a little tickle.
See, everybody likes butt play. Come on, I'm not the only one. Don't knock it till you try it.
Whoa. She's had fucking John Holmes in her ass.
Hey, Alan, squirt.
Do what, sweetheart?
Squirt.
Do I?
Yeah, squirt.
Yeah, if you fucking know what you're doing. I've never had it done with penile penetration, but fingers, yeah.
It's not his flavor Pop-Tart.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, I really hope y'all are not taking it up the butt with a big fat black dick.
What do you think you will?
No.
Wow. You have passed some really...
Holy shit.
You were talking shit about Allie's anal lube specifications.
Spit lasts a couple of minutes, long enough for the balls to slap against the pussy to get that going, and then you can use that. Put your hand down there, rub that for a minute, and then rub that on your dick, and then there's your lube.
Did he say fiddle down there?
He said fiddle down. You go ahead and fiddle down there while you get some spit.
I'm gonna fiddle down there and get me some nails and put it up. Y'all got some hot sauce. Butt Kegel exercises will make you poop.
What are you talking about, buddy? I done set that Twitter page. It's fucking good to go.
I take my anal sex very seriously. I mean, I'm always looking for an excuse to get more butt sex. Come on now.
What the?
Damn.
God damn.
I wish I had a woman like that in my life. God.
Holy
damn.
shit.
So
I mean, I'm over here like nonchalantly deep throating my beer bottle, but
holy fuck.
Hey, I got 3 holes. I can take it all.
So a 12-pack of dicks in your face.
Hole has been stretched out. I mean, you don't have that tight of a grip on your bowels.
How often do you take a shit and then your asshole doesn't go back to normal size? That probably happens like never. It's the same thing with butt sex.
How often do women have babies and their pussies don't go back to normal size?
What kind of pretentious bitch are you that you won't sleep on a fucking wet spot? No, she could eat all the bags of dicks.
Dude, a John Burke shirt. Does he make shirts? I need some John Burke cum rags.
Ooh, even better.
Oh, he makes moisture wicking cum rags. A Gusher or a Squirter or both?
Squirter.
Gusher's candy is fucking delicious.
Okay. I'd like to welcome you to the Jim Beam after show perv hour.
Turn over, put that face down and toot that ass up. Shape of a heart. Love. Next chapter, little wet pussy hungry for me. I started where you wanted, baby, cause I'm straight up here in the G spot. Too hot, the cop knocking your socks off. I'm higher. She can't.
Hope everybody got their instructions from Allie on butt sex. Jesus.
Now we need like one of those rapid fire disclaimers from ICE.
When was that show? I didn't catch that. This is all new to me.
Saturday
night.
Saturday night? Okay.
Saturday night.
I was having drinks with Nancy and Pete. Welcome back, everybody, to What the Fuck Wednesday. I'm your fucking out of the ordinary host, Redleg, tonight on Wednesday. I feel out of my element, dude.
You're a shitty fucking. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Fuck.
You are out of your element. It's What the Fuck Wednesdays.
I know.
But we love you.
I think Raptor 6 thought I said I'm Bobby because he started to yell at me.
Bobby didn't even.
Bobby been.
Bobby's on an extended shitbaggery. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I talked to him. He's fired.
Oh, he's fired.
Can I
Like
fire him?
a dozen times. He's like Milton from Office Space. He just.
I was just thinking the same thing.
So here we are, third and final hour of tonight's show, and everybody's winding down from the forum, the Commander-in-Chief Forum. That was kind of disappointing.
That's what I was very disappointed. It was the worst presidential debate I've ever seen.
So
they're fiasco.
Yes, Lawrence, I am a red leg like a 13 series MOS. Why else would I call myself that?
Because you're a ginger?
Not even close, dude. What was I going to say? My train of thought derailed.
I don't think I was unimpressed. I kind of expected all of these, sideways answers to the direct questions, and it always goes like that. Even during a debate, when a candidate asks a candidate a direct question, they all, they deflect and they just kind of go off on their own little tangent. I don't think I was unimpressed at their answers, but I wasn't surprised at the way that they answered the question.
Okay, I get it. So they've been groomed to answer every fucking question this way, lest they make a misstep and have it quoted all over the news for the following weeks.
Exactly. And by the same token, I think Matt Lauer was trained. These are your lines, and these are the avenues that you will go and pursue. Don't go this way. Don't go that way. He could have very easily talked about the build that wall. On day one, you're going to start building that wall, and he didn't go there.
How would you like to be a moderator for one of these things where you essentially control a discussion? And yes, it wasn't, EJ, it was not a debate. It was a question and answer of sorts. How would you like to be a moderator and be in there basically telling all the presidential candidates to shut the fuck up so I can ask the next question?
Right. I guess the person that needs the most kudos is fucking Matt Lauer for, keeping the conversation in track and to script.
But do you think maybe that he kind of took it a little easier on Hillary than he did on Trump? You think he went after Trump a little more?
I absolutely. Yeah.
It depends who you work for, and I don't know if anybody else caught this story today. Not to get off track, but just to, I guess, give context to the point about Matt Lauer and what we already know NBC is. So one of the ESPN commentators in regards to Colin Kaepernick, Paul Feinbaum, he came out against it and, said, and I'm paraphrasing, that he completely disagrees with it, and this country is not oppressing black people, this, that, and the other. And I guess he got a talking to immediately after and came out in another interview and said, I blew it, I didn't know what I was talking about, blah, 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 to save face and probably keep his job. So it's the same shit with some of these media hacks. Regardless of how they feel, they have to go a certain way on the direction of the network or face repercussions and probably firing.
Well, because, at the end of the day, when everything's all over with, they work for an organization that is, they're a business. Their business is making money. And in order to make that money, I guess they have to pick a course and follow it. And if it's propping up the left or propping up the right, that's what they're going to continue to do, because, the days of fair and impartial journalism are over. You got the left wing, you got the right wing. There's no, I don't know if Al Jazeera is still on in the United States. I don't think it is. But I knew a lot of people that watched it because that's the only place they could get fair and impartial reporting for the shit that's going on in the United States. I know people that watch the BBC News.
It was a great network for the most part. Most of the reporting was just reporting as it should be. Like, hey, this shit happened here. Moving on. This shit happened here. Moving on. That's for the most part what a lot of their programming was.
Yeah, no opinions. No, let's bring out this, quote, expert who has an interest in one side or the other. We'll tell you what happened. We'll give you the facts as we know them and move on to the next story. Doesn't happen anymore.
Nope.
Even we are biased. We're biased to the military. I mean, we'll tell you some fucked up shit happened. We're not ashamed to do that, but of course we're going to side more often than not with the military because that's kind of what we're about. But, then again, we never try to purport ourselves as anything other than just like a fuckery network. That we even covered this tonight, surprised some people. We're just some dudes with microphones.
They had a lot of bad press, though, and a lot of negative connotations associated with them with their parent network, Al Jazeera, because you always hear it in the U.S. press. Oh, this was put out by Al Jazeera, like, Muslim. But I actually I sat and watched it when it was on my TV, to Al Jazeera America. I don't have a lot bad to say about it because it was, like I said, it was for the most part, and a lot of shit that people don't even know that's going on in the world that gets glossed over, like some fucked up shit. They're like, holy fuck, I didn't know that was going on. You watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and know nothing of like all this other crazy shit happening around the world.
Yeah. Like, I've been seeing it on Facebook. Where is it that the company's doing the thing with the pipeline, and is that in one of the Dakotas?
I think it was North Dakota.
I believe so. Where they're bulldozing through the Native American burial grounds or something. Like I said, I just seen bits and pieces of it on Facebook, but it's it's turned violent. I don't recall seeing any of that on the major networks. Not in any not for any length of time. They may have touched on it and moved along because it's only important to a small number of people, and since it's not, John says North Dakota, I guess it's not sensational enough to the rest of the country to cover, so they just gloss over it. And, had I intended on talking about that tonight, I'd be a little better prepared. But I did see some video of, I guess, the security guards for the company, for the pipeline company, and their dogs. They're setting their dogs on the protesters that came out there.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit last night.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a subject matter expert.
With Nene, of all people.
I just synced it.
I think they called in and was threatening to scalp people and all kinds of other shit.
I synced it, but I didn't brush up on it. I think Omen said that Nene's got the camera shut down until he get that whole thing figured out. That's her way of protesting the destruction of her ancient lands or some shit. Omen said it's some passing remark in the live chat about it. maybe she's holding the cameras hostage. She has the power.
I'll tell you what's pissed me off today is this with John Tortorella, the coach for the U.S. team hockey. Have y'all heard about this?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so he's made the statement that if one of his players was to sit during the national anthem, they'd sit for the rest of the fucking game.
Yep.
Now you got Stephen A. Smith, a sports analyst, who has been all up and down in arms and backing Colin Kaepernick, saying, he has a right to sit during the national anthem. Now he wants this guy stripped as the coach of Team USA.
Fuck that. The coach runs the team, especially in hockey. Those dudes are kind of known for being pretty tyrannical when it comes to the way that the team is run. And to me, that's the coach's right. If you want to play on this team that I've allowed you to be a part of, you're going to do
Team USA of all teams, the team representing the country that if you want to protest and hate, I'm not saying any of them are. They probably don't. He's just probably putting that out as a PSA. But Team USA.
So you stand during the national anthem or you don't play.
Right, and that was Stephen A. Smith's point 6 was, you're representing Team USA, which is, so if they want to express their First Amendment right of freedom of speech by protesting, by not standing, then you shouldn't, because you're not a private entity. You're a coach for team. Fuck you, dude. Spend it any way you want to. If it's okay for Colin Kaepernick or anybody else to sit during the national anthem, and that's their right to do so, I think it's also the right of the coach to say, you know what? If you're playing on my team and you do it, you're not going to play. If you don't like it, fucking damn go play somewhere else.
Right.
Whether it's pro, amateur, or whatever.
You want to protest? He can protest your protest. Go find another country to play for. Then I'm sure you could fucking play. If you can play for Team USA, I'm sure you could play for team whatever country you think is better.
Right.
Maybe they should go talk to the fastest man in the world, Mr. Bolt.
From Jamaica. Who interrupted an interview with a reporter to pay his respects during the national anthem of the United States of America. He's not even from this country. But he's respectful enough to basically tell his reporter to hold on a minute while I respect the national anthem of a different country. That's what it is, dude. At the end of the day, it all boils down to respect for something other than yourself, something bigger than you. Colin Kaepernick.
Most of these fuckers don't believe in that shit. To me, it's more of the kind of, I guess, social media phenomenon. Not that this is, I guess, comparable, but I mean, like all the stupid shit on Facebook, like the fucking ALS challenge. Like, oh, I'm going to go do this now too. I never thought to say fuck America, but hey, I'm gay or I'm this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, even though I don't believe in it. And make a mockery of myself and my team.
Yeah. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Well, I'm not backpedaling because I did say from the beginning, he has a right to do that. That's what we all fought for, was for freedoms and choices. But you've done it once to bring attention to your cause. Now stand up and respect the fucking national anthem. And
here's my point.
Respect.
Specifically about Team USA is that if you really want to protest and you're that much of an asset that you're representing as the United States of America, the U.S. hockey team, don't fucking play. How about that as a protest? Like, you know what? I could be the reason you guys fucking lose. Fuck you. I'm not playing for you.
Right.
How
about that? protest, and I'd accept that.
I don't watch a sporting event to see a participant making a political statement. I watch a sporting event to, depending on what said sporting event is, to watch you move an object up and down a venue, a field, or the ice or whatever, and get your fucking face smashed in for my amusement and entertainment. I don't give a fuck about how you feel about what's going on in America. Your opinion is of no consequence to me. I don't know you outside of what you do for a living. So if you want to sit on the bench, during the game, like you're probably going to anyways because you're a second-rate hack. Stand your fucking ass up for the national anthem like everybody else is doing. Don't draw attention to yourself. And collect your paycheck. And talk to your buddies about how you feel oppressed in the United States when you're from a well-to-do, privileged family.
Yeah, it's about being part. Like I've never been religious. In fact, I'm atheist. I don't believe in fucking God. Whatever. I know we don't talk. And my point being is that I've been a part of sports and all these other shits, prayers with the military and you know what? I bow my head.
Because
I fucking bow my head and I sit there. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I could just sit there and think of nothings in my head. But you know what? I'm not going to be like some douchebag and try and be like, oh, fuck you, fuck this. And I just bow my fucking head, put my hands together, bow my head.
You don't draw attention to yourself. You don't make a spectacle. You get on with the getting on.
My life is not changed. I am not indoctrinated by bowing my fucking head. I sit there with my teammates or other soldiers, wherever the case might be, and bow my head for 5 fucking seconds. Done.
You didn't burst into flame.
Yeah.
So, there's no harm in it. I think the whole thing is just a spectacle. I'm not sure the guy even... If you could sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with this guy and say, okay, man, explain to me exactly what it is that you're trying to protest or draw attention to, and tell me in cold, hard facts exactly, justify and explain your point of view to me. I don't think he could do it. Because A, he hasn't experienced it, and B, he's not educated enough on the subject to have a valid opinion on it.
Well, I saw on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the CNN that the black man is being oppressed and being hung off light posts. And never mind the fact there's a black president, a black attorney general, 2 black attorney generals, and the list goes on. But tell me more about how oppressed in a majority white country where there's a fucking black president. Because we're so awful.
It's
America's prejudice.
It's amazing to me, man, that Chad says he found out he'd be sitting on the bench. He would be sitting on the bench all season. He wasn't sure what to do. It's almost comical to me that the core group of people who say that prejudice and discrimination needs to end are the ones who continue to divide the country into black and white among racial lines. That's amusing to me, because if you stopped making it an issue, it would no longer be an issue. We cannot be expected to repair this and to heal if you keep opening the wounds. So let's do something productive instead of constantly forcing a division. Does that make sense to you guys?
It's gotten worse, though. I was listening on the radios today, and apparently, I think this is more than just several. This is just a case that was brought up recently, that there are now campuses, I think Cal State and several others out there on the left coast, that they now have segregated dormitories for college students to make them feel safe.
Yes, I've seen that, and I mean, you're right. We're going backwards, dude.
What?
I saw there was a story about it was a minor blow up on social media about a college student who was black and ran an ad looking for a roommate, and then the ad said, no whites, essentially. So a group of whites in the student body took issue with that. Of course,
racist.
Nothing was ever done because the racism fell on the other side of the fence this time. But imagine if it had been the other way around. Well, the argument is, well, it's always the other way around. No, you think it's always the other way around. You make it the other way around.
White colleges do you know of? How many quote historical white colleges?
There is a historically black college a few blocks down the road from where I work. And they make no bones about it. But you turn it around the other way, and that's racist.
Yeah, this used to be a historically white cafe.
I mean, racism works in both directions. Is all I'm saying.
It does.
I'm not crying foul so much as I am saying, we get it. We see your point of view. Now look at ours. You're making it's going backwards. It really is.
And White Lives Matter, the group, has now been characterized as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Right, because they're the authority. They're the official authority on hate groups. Shit.
At this point, I just sit back and laugh at all this shit. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing. I should be crying. But every time I turn, I look at this shit like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and segregate. And it's not white people that are driving it either. It's the complete opposite. It's like we're going into the what's the word for when things are like another dimension?
Alternate reality.
It's an alternate. Yeah. Yeah. I place a lot of the blame on the administration from the top down for enabling these minority groups to perpetuate this horse shit.
It's a culmination of that and social media, I think.
Yeah. Well, once everybody figures out that you can get on social media and spread your stupidity worldwide, and people will agree with you, or feel guilty for not agreeing with you, which is a lot of it. Oh, these people say they're oppressed, and if I don't agree with them, then I feel guilty, so I just click the like button. Next thing you know, they got 300,000 likes.
Well,
the news picks it up.
I'm talking out my ass here because I don't know of any case, but I have to believe that a college or somebody has done a study or an experiment with, let's take memes, for example, of just how stupid people are, because you see them all over Facebook and wherever else with somebody's picture and then a caption, and without doing any research or looking into anything, how many people jump on it, like it, share it 10,000 times? They're like, oh my God, like this person, that person. And that turns out to be complete bullshit. But because people are so fucking stupid and ignorant, they just go with it. And unfortunately, that to me seems like the majority of the country at this point in time. You could fucking, pull the fucking wool over their eyes, and they're just fucking retarded. I could go make a meme right now and blast out on What the Fuck Moments. It could be complete bullshit, and it'll probably be shared 10,000 times. And all these people are like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Like, oh.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something, Raptor 6, similar to what you just said. I am going to, as a social media experiment, I'm going to make an image, right? It's going to be a black background. It's going to have white letters on it. The letters are going to be italic, and they're going to be enclosed in quotation marks. And it's going to say something that is mildly shocking but somewhat believable, because after I put this sentence or phrase in italic letters in quotation marks in the bottom right-hand corner of my black background, I'm going to put a dash, like a minus sign, and then I'm going to put Abraham Lincoln. And it's going to be complete bullshit, but because it's in italics with quotes around it and says Abraham Lincoln on it, people are going to believe it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a perfect example of just the stupidity out there, because that happens every fucking day. You see it on your Facebook feeds. I'd like to think most of us are like, whatever. Another stupid meme.
I gotta think of something.
Bonjour.
I gotta think of something to say. Oh yeah.
I just came back from France. I've been a model.
I'm a French model.
Last month.
Can't put it on the internet if it isn't true. Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta think of a good quote, made up quote, that's somewhat believable but kind of shocking too, by Abraham Lincoln that he totally never said. See how many people take it at face value and how many people actually go do some research and call me out. Yeah, it's in quotation marks. It must be true, right, Chad? Because that's the way people think, man. You take everything at face value. You don't bother to go out and do any kind of research.
Exactly. People are too lazy. Nothing is scrutinized. The first thing I do when I see half of the bullshit on Facebook is I immediately go to Snopes.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
Right.
And I got
those of you that don't know,
I got tired of doing
a great
it.
Source. go to Snopes, SNOPES.com. Every time you see the article like Morgan Freeman's dead for the 50th time, if you go to Snopes, they'll dispel half the bullshit stories that blow up your news feed every day.
You know what? There were people who I'm friends with on Facebook that would immediately like repost or like or share something that was complete bullshit. And for a while, I would go to Snopes and find the link where it had been proven to be untrue and comment with the link in hopes that they would go read the article and fucking stop doing it. But over time, I realized it was a lot easier to click the little arrow that points down and click on unfollow this person but stay friends. And then I just started unfriending people en masse because I got tired of seeing this shit over and over and over. EJ says Snopes is owned by Clinton and the DNC.
Snopes, I haven't found a time, regardless of whoever, I haven't found a time that it hasn't been accurate. That's just me.
So Snopes is done by a heavily liberal couple, according to Serial. Where did you? Let's go to Snopes and look that up and see if it's true. No, they do their fact checking, dude. I mean, I'm not talking about political opinions and stuff, guys. I'm talking about information that if you bother to do any research could be proven or disproven. They go out and seek out this information. Let's not bring politics into it.
Hey, what are these idiots talking about?
I was talking about dead Morgan Freeman's and all the other dumb shit. I mean, yeah, we were talking about the politics, but
talking about if it's on the interwebs, it's true.
Yeah, you idiots are missing the point.
Oh,
the
yeah,
point we're trying to make
have
is
you guys
that
read
agree with
Dumbledore
it.
The Onion?
It's amazing the number of people who.
What about
they're
the
in the
Onion?
fucking army, and they still share it.
Yeah,
They're like, oh my god.
Duffel Blog and the Onion. People share that and go, oh my god.
And then you wonder why we're skeptical of the intelligence of the fucking average listening community. I mean, we're not insulting anybody in particular, but if you're sharing articles from the Duffel Blog being like, OMG, or the Onion, you're kind of dumb, dude. There's a bunch of more satirical websites out there that you could be sharing. And I'm probably, thinking that you are. Stop it, dude. Stop it. Stop being stupid. In fact, look into shit before you say things.
People wonder why we rage out so much. Dude, we fucking rage out because of you constantly fucking losing your shit over a Duffel Blog article. Oh, I can't believe this. This is what things are coming to. Did you happen to notice that it came from Duffel Blog? Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. It's a satire site.
Hey, I challenge any of you to think that we're wrong factually, because I, for one, I don't know about you gentlemen, but me as Raptor 7, as shit talky and drunk as I get, I really don't like to open my mouth a lot about things that I don't know what I'm talking about. Right? Have you noticed that, Red Leg? I like to talk about gun rights and shit that I know what I'm talking about. Some politics type stuffy stuff. I'm not really a dumbass. And if you want to call and debate that with me, then fine. You're probably going to be wrong, or your opinion sucks. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's the good thing about opinions. There's no right or wrong. It's just an opinion.
Yeah, and I may think it sucks, or you may think my opinion sucks. You can call and talk to me about it, and we can debate it at 415-889-8367 or Redleg. Redleg says a lot of things, and he's usually pretty fucking accurate. I mean, we're on the radio to a bunch of military and veteran communities. You think we're gonna stolen valor and fucking run our cock holsters off about some fucking shit that doesn't matter or shit we don't know what we're talking about? Man, fuck, if we don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna say, I'm not really sure what this means, but I'll fire off with it anyways. Am I wrong in this, gentlemen?
There's a reason that we talk about a lot of we have an opinion on a lot of things. It's because it's an opinion. I tried not to stray too far into things that are factual unless I know I'm right. That's by design. You don't just get on the radio and start spouting shit off as facts if you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think any of us at many times ever preface what we say with, I know for a fact that blah, 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 because we're usually shooting from the waist and saying, hey, paraphrasing, or I'm not entirely 100% on this, but blah, blah, blah.
As a joke, me and Raptor 6, when we spit off some facts, if we're like 87,000 tons of bombs have been dropped in such and such a valley in such and such a country, we'll be like Raptor facts. Because we'll be off by like 1 trillion. You know? But who gives a shit? We'll say Raptor facts, right? Pick up on the sarcasm. Lay off the fucking goddamn it, motherfuckers.
Get off the gas.
Get funny.
Oh yeah, I love when the new people with no sense of humor come around, and I see their comments to the stuff we're saying, so I could completely lose my mind. It's fun. It's healthy. It's good for you to
you gotta watch that ulcer, buddy.
To get stressed out. I know. It's good. I appreciate being set straight by the listening audience, especially the new people. And the criticism, that's a lot of fun too. You're a shitty radio host. Oh, really? Thanks.
I like it when they call and criticize us. They don't often do it though. I don't know why.
I don't either. I think they're intimidated by Raptor 7. He yells a lot. You yell a lot too, but you usually.
I'm on my happy pills.
You usually, it's usually much later, like 5 hours into a broadcast, when you start yelling.
Yeah, then I'm pretty tanked. Right now we're at borderline. Well, no, good buzz. Piss drunk is when the shouting starts. And usually that's at the late hours too, when stupid people who are drunk call that are legitimately stupid, and even though I'm fucking blitzed out of my mind, I'm still coherent enough to fucking shut them down and make them sound like faggots. But anyway, at least that's my opinion of myself.
Oh, I'm down. I'm totally down. Hey, call us, Raptor 6 and Raptor 7 would be happy to talk to you right now. I'm totally down to talk to anybody that has any opinions on anything. Raptor 6, do you agree?
Oh, yeah. I'm always welcoming calls.
Oh, yeah. All the opinions on anything of everything. Call us. Well, you want to know advice on your dating life? What should you do if your dependa sleeps with some kind of person of a different sex or race? Call us. We'll let you know.
Yeah, but don't try to call right now because the phones are fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Red Lake says.
You forgot to fix them.
Yeah, I forgot to reset the.
No, I just unfriended a friend. I had a friend that I unFacebook friend. There you go. And he called me and he was like, "What the fuck's up?" And I said, "I'm tired of political bullshit. All because you like Trump and I like Hillary Clinton." I was like, "No, I get tired of seeing you put up fucking shit about I'm a fucking idiot because I fucking am supporting Trump, and I don't put anything up calling you a fucking idiot because you're supporting Hillary Clinton. It's your opinion. You pick who you think is best to serve the country, but don't call me stupid and an idiot."
I'm trying to remember what exactly it was that made me unfriend Stephen Hobbs on Facebook. It had something to do with him bashing the police or something.
Yeah.
Was it my co-host?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I unfriended that dude a while back.
Oh,
yeah, I remember that.
What was it about, Jim?
It had to do with the Black Lives Matter and the police and.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You guys do understand that he's a rapper, right?
He's a famous rapper. He's just trying to keep his fucking job at the label.
Well, dude, how would you feel if you were a famous rapper and you didn't jump on the BLM movement, dude? Come on, man. Let the guy fucking have his thing. Does he really deserve to be unfriended?
I mean, he can have his thing.
Bureau of Land Management,
right? He can have
that
it.
Guy got shot.
He
for doing
can
that.
listen. He can have his thing, and he just needs to have it away from me. That's all I'm saying.
The Bureau of Land Management. Yeah, Jim. I fucking hate the Bureau of Land Management. I almost hate the Bureau
the last
of
guy
Land
who
Management.
jumped on that bandwagon got shot by the FBI in the snow.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, hell yeah, he did. And then they said he pulled a gun. Yeah, cool. Cute story.
Did you guys see the video? They had video from inside the vehicle and outside the vehicle, and they shot that fucking dude to, like, full of holes.
Oh, remember the guy that shot the cops and they just burnt the house down? They're like, we didn't find him.
I do remember that. That was
in California.
Yeah, it was in California.
All they found was his manifesto.
I watched the live coverage of that, and they're like, "Oh, there's smoke coming from the house, from the helicopter and shit." And I'm like, now there appears to be smoke coming. It's kind of hard to tell through the trees. And next thing you know, a few minutes later, there are a lot of flames coming from this structure.
Was a helicopter over top fanning it?
And then the cops just stood there and watched it burn. And I guess afterwards, the fire department went in and said, "Oh, he must have escaped. He's not in here." No, he's in there.
He'll come out or he'll burn fucking.
Yeah, they burnt that fucking place down.
Texas style.
Like they shot some kind of incendiary, like it was a flashbang or they have the CS grenades that burn.
Was it one of those dragon shot rounds that you could fire from a 12 gauge and just shoot out a big ass fucking flame of sparks?
It was probably some kind of like incendiary CS grenade that actually burns instead of just puts off gas, and it caught the place.
Some white phosphorus grenade they chucked in the fucking one. They chucked a white phosphorus grenade in the fucking cabin.
Come out with your hands up.
Boom, white phosphorus. Going off like a sparkler.
Oh my god.
Fucking igniting shit.
He fought the law and the law won.
Oh, dude, at the fucking heat levels that would fucking cause steel to melt.
I don't know, man. What this country's come to with, live unfolding police drama on TV and stuff. It's almost surreal. The way we get to watch things unfold in real time.
Hey, you want to talk about Indians?
I briefly touched on that. Indians having their.
Did you talk about that? How they're trying? What they wanted to do originally was dig the well under the river.
They're getting their shit pushed in up in North Dakota. And
so they dug the
shit pushed in.
What they wanted to do was dig the pipeline under the river, and they had to briefly divert. And I get what all the Indians are saying. You divert the Mississippi River, that's gonna like fuck up a lot of shit for a minute, right? Like where irrigation to our crops. You know what I mean? Or whatever Indian accent is. They wanted to dig the pipeline underneath the river, and then divert it momentarily, and then everything will be fine, right? The thing everybody's freaked out about is what if this shit busts a leak? And then everybody downrange of where that pipeline was on the Mississippi River is going to be fucked, right? Which is true, but they're going to surround that motherfucker in like 10 feet of concrete. Like, come on, man. You don't trust modern technology to the slightest extent. I'm pretty sure my house is going to live through a earthquake or a hurricane or something like that. Like modern, building standards. But that was the original reason. But then the construction company, because the Army Corps of Engineers said, yeah, okay, fine, fuck it, go ahead. Fuck the Indians. You did all these town halls, none of the Indians showed up. I'm talking like Indians, not dot forehead Indians. Yeah. None of them showed up to the town halls, so nobody protested. So then they're like, all right, we're going to dig this hole underneath the river. So the Indians got pissed because they're like, all right, we're going to protest because they're going to shut off the river for a day or two. And then they all ran. And so the construction company's like, we got to plow through this certain area super fast before these Indians show up and start doing dumb shit. And so they plowed through this certain area and used bulldozers and heavy equipment. And I'm a horizontal engineer by Army trade, and you could move fast, right? So I'm pretty sure they moved like 1 million square feet of dirt in 3 days while the Indians were sleeping off their drunkenness from the firewater over Labor Day weekend, because none of them were working, right? They're collecting welfare checks. Am I offending enough people yet? So fucking the Indians show up about
fuck you, Jim.
Indians show up at like noon or 1300 on Monday or Tuesday, and after Labor Day, and they're like, "Wait, you just plowed over our burial grounds," and the construction workers are like, "That's what they told us to do," and now the Indians are pissed. Handcuffing themselves to shit. I mean, I get it, right? They plowed over what these particular, 300 Indians considered their Arlington National Cemetery worth of skulls and bones and shit and rocks made in circles. I'm not trying to belittle it. I'm just trying to make humor of it. But they plowed through basically this tribe of 300's Arlington National Cemetery in order to make the pipeline. Meanwhile, you fucking lazy Indians were too busy sitting with your space heaters in the front yard on your fucking couches watching TV to go to the town halls to say, fuck this, right? Now you want to throw a fit? This is the way the fucking government works. And now corporations plowing over shit because you didn't want to fucking say anything about it before because you're too busy getting drunk on firewater to pay attention to what the fuck was going on in your community. Now your community's fucking wrecked. Now your graveyard's destroyed because it's not marked and it's not a fucking national landmark. You got no property rights. The government took, what do you call it? Something domain?
Eminent domain.
Yeah, the government was like eminent domain because nobody's protesting against this. And now that's it. Fuck yourself. Now they're handcuffing themselves to fucking hydraulic lifts on fucking bulldozer arms and shit like that. And, a bunch of white construction workers are out of work. So thank you, Indians, for putting a bunch of white people out of work. Dickheads.
Oh my God! I always appreciate your racially charged tirades. It's refreshing.
Your shit pushed in.
Getting your shit.
Question. Nah. Had my shit pushed in.
Oh yeah, man. I had my shit pushed in, bro. Big time.
Shout out to training day.
You ever had your shit?
Oh shit.
Not by Indian, not by a drunken, hungover Indian that was too fucking shit-faced to fucking show up to a town hall, but that was drunk enough to show up on a Tuesday during a work day to handcuff himself to a bulldozer.
Oh, wait a minute. Raptor 7. Steven from the Facebook Live chat would like to remind you, remember, we are the immigrants, they are the natives.
Let me tell you something, motherfucker. Every country and every continent on this fucking earth has been invaded by immigrants and fucking crusaders. So you want to fucking tell me something about fucking immigrants and crusaders? Go fuck yourself, dude. You know what? Because they were too stupid to fucking learn how to write books and build a boat better than a fucking animal skin kayak means they're a better society. You know what? If the Native Americans own this country nowadays, we'd still be fucking drumming on fucking bongos and fucking living in teepees. What the fuck did the Native Americans contribute to shit except finger painting on walls the shit they hunted out of fucking mixed up fucking clay and shit? Oh, look at the deer I made. Look at the deer. Oh, that's a huge deer. Oh, it had one more antelope.
There's actually no such thing as Native Americans, but that's, I guess, for another show. I mean, science already proved that they came from Asia and crossed the land bridge during the last ice age.
Yeah, if you really want to fucking fuck around with that, dude, the Native Americans could have struck a deal, but they're shitty bargain dealers because they don't even speak English, let alone write or read. When you fucking communicate in fucking cave paintings with a fucking civilized nation, then you know what? Back the fuck up, dude. It's our land. I don't know what to tell you. Fuck off. My land.
We're just.
By the way, I'm a 16th Cherokee, so I'm allowed to say all this.
Before you get all bent out of shape, whatever his name was. It's the end of the show, and we're having a laugh at somebody else's expense.
The Indians.
Yeah.
Goddamn Indians. You know what? I really take I kind of take offense at the fact that people say it was their land first. So was everybody's. So was fucking everybody's, dude. Okay, so the fucking Indians that are getting jacked up in fucking North Dakota, their little burial ground is more important than Arlington National Cemetery, which is more important than fucking Syria and Iraq and them fucking fighting over land, which is more important than the Philippine president calling our president a fucking son of a whore because we took over the Philippines in the Spanish-American War because fucking other countries are too weak. What do you want to go back to the fucking 0700? You want to go back to 700 BC?
Of man.
Start arguing fucking continental politics, dude? Shut up.
I'm not even sure.
It really grinds my gears.
Anymore.
You know, if you want to get down in the weeds about all this injustice, historically, 50 years ago, a century ago, 2 centuries ago, everybody fucking got the short end of the stick at some point. Quit your bitching unless you were directly affected by it today, which none of you really fucking were. Then shut the fuck up. Who gives a shit?
If anybody is in the reach of our fucking voices going into your fucking ear hole, that were alive during the slave days and you're black and you're pissed, then fuck you, dude. You weren't. I mean, I think I reversed that. If you were alive during the slave days and you can hear my voice, then I want to sincerely apologize for maybe my great-grandfather enslaving you. I doubt there's anybody alive. If you're a Japanese person that was enslaved by Roosevelt to build the fucking trains from the Pacific going east, I apologize to any of you Japs. If you're a Filipino during the Spanish-American War in the 1860s, when we took over the Philippines and fucking Hawaii and what's that other stupid country, Puerto Rico, I apologize. Nobody here within earshot of me is alive or was alive during those times. So shut the fuck up, dude. We're in the present times. Shut up. History is history.
I'd also like to apologize. My family immigrated here from Ireland and Germany in the early 1900s. So all that slave trade shit, I'm sorry. Me and my family and my lineage had nothing to do with it, but I'm sorry. My bad, I guess. And then
well, you know what, the Irish, didn't you guys get impoverished in the northeast of the United States to be like didn't they make a movie out of that about slaved Irish just getting punked out and making fucking garbage wage, like you got paid in bread and water?
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Oh yeah, that's because Irish. Oh, didn't Rudy Giuliani just get on TV yesterday or today saying that when they wanted to remove the Islamists want to remove Islamist terrorists from that monument of what crashed into 9/11 and who caused it. Rudy Giuliani said, I wouldn't be concerned if they said Irish terrorists or Irish mafia. I'm Irish. I'm not Irish mafia.
Italian mafia.
Or Italian, yeah, sorry. Good correction. But I want to say my last thing before I shut up.
That wasn't Whitey Borger.
Dude, history is history because you need to learn from it. If you don't learn from history, it's bound to repeat itself. So you need to learn history. You need to know history. History's ugly. But if you don't know it, then it's bound to repeat itself. If you ignore it and you just choose like it doesn't exist, then we're going to repeat the same fucking shit. So why fucking just put on the blinders like a horse? And you put blinders on a horse. Learn from history, know it, fucking do your thing, and move on with life.
I hate
be a better person.
I hate that some people probably tuned out before they got to hear you say that, because for all of his raging out and antics, Raptor 7 is exactly right. It's history because it's already happened. And what'd you say? If you don't educate yourself and if you forget it,
history is bound to repeat itself unless you learn it. If you don't know what history is and you don't learn the ugly past of history, slavery of the Irish, the English, the black, the fucking Jews, all the way back to the fucking BCs, it's bound to repeat itself. Fucking educate yourself and don't be a fucking dumbass. Don't listen to the media. Don't be a fucking retard. Learn shit, educate yourself, and try to make it better tomorrow than just trying to fucking make a Black Lives Matter today, doing a bunch of dumb shit, for example. You know, that was just throwing out a dumb example. But if you don't learn history, it's bound to redo itself.
That's deep, bro. No, you're right. I just hope that some people manage to hold on to the end of the show and hear you say that. After
Probably not. They
probably think you're a fucking
douchebag,
racist, yelling, fucking privileged white male.
Yeah,
I seen a T-shirt that's for sale from Arlie Emery. I don't know if it's from him, but he's on it. It says, "No lives matter. You're all equally worthless."
Oh yeah. Talk about unscripted stuff,
dude. If you erase history, then it's gonna repeat itself. Don't erase history. The ugly truths are the ugly truths. Just don't let it happen again. That's the thing. Educate yourself. And I don't know. I don't really know where to go from there. Stop being a dumbass.
Steven must have tuned in late because we just talked about the black-only housing at UC Davis, Berkeley, UCLA, UConn, so on and so forth. We talked about that. And now?
Yeah, regressing into segregation. Ridiculous.
Hi, television neighbor. I'm glad we're together again. No, I don't.
Oh, you don't have the Raptor 6 mix of Hello, My Television Neighbor?
I don't have it. Hi, television neighbor.
Man. I do.
Oh, Jim's got it to wrap up the show. Oh, wait, before you do it, Jim. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, right here on WTF Nation Radio. Ice will be here for Sergeant's Time. That's that guy, Ice. And then I'll be back on Friday. And I'm not going to go past that because, you know, short attention spans and whatnot.
Yeah.
So tune in. What do I talk about? Podcast at WTFNationRadio.com. Also on iTunes, on Stitcher, on TuneIn Radio, and on the Google thing. The YouTube channel. That's a thing. Go watch our YouTube videos.
Hey, are you doing the Sunday thing? Is the Sunday thing happening?
We gotta finalize plans with that guy, I guess.
All right, so we may have a there will be somebody Saturday. I don't remember who either. But there is also maybe going to be a new show debuting on Sunday, focusing on the marijuana. Whether I got to be there or not, it'll probably happen.
We'll see. We'll see on Sunday. Now everybody on Facebook can see me grimacing as I try to pop my back. I get stove up sitting here for so long. Ugh.
This is NFL kickoff weekend, so I will not be here Sunday. Yourselves.
Oh, I'll be half-assed, co-hosting.
Jim, you ready?
Yeah. I don't know if it's. Let me know if it's loud enough.
Let's get it.
Television neighbor.
Raptor 6.
High television neighbor.
Raptor 6.
Raptor 6.
Oh wait, I do have that.
Raptor 6.
High television neighbor.
Raptor 6.
High television neighbor.
Jim, stop it, Jim. No, we're talking about the actual audio clip of him doing it. I got the song. Jim, did you go away? Oh, no, he's still here.
No, I'm here. I said I thought you wanted the remix.
Oh, no, you're talking about that. I got that. Nah, fuck it. Let's just end the show.
Oh, whatever.
Good night.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh, play it. I want to hear it.
Look, I had to say goodnight. Can I say goodnight?
Wait, hold on.
Really?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborhood neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Spoken, hi television neighbor, I'm glad we're together again. And that's the end of Badger sucking Redleg's dick again. Would you be mine? Would you have your cock in my mouth? Please. Goodbye. It's Raptor 6 rendition of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with Badger.
Hang that shit up.
Hey, why not? Why not? Why not get all pissed? What's up? What's up?
Because I wanted to say goodnight. You hijacked our fucking show. Factor 6, Jim Beam. Where the fuck was Alaska tonight, dude? He's fucking done.
That's it? I hijacked your show, and good night.
And
I'm glad you hijacked the show.
Damn, I'll never do this again.
Say good
love
night.
you.
Why not?
I love you. Good night. Why not?
Dude, she said, I love you, good night, way sexier to you idiots than she has ever said to me.
Well, I mean, I don't blame her. I would too.
I really hate you, fucking faggots.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
but we love you.
Yeah, go to bed, dick faces.
Going to bed.
Are you?
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye, Felicia.
Y'all stanch.